Is that working? Oh man. Hello everybody. Welcome to my stream for creating a matchup chart for Bayonetta in 11.0 of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Not me sounding super profesh right now. Yeah, as if. Okay, so I got the page up here. Let me switch to that setup. Sweet. Okay. So now you guys should be able to see me with the page up. I just want to make sure. I am still sort of new to streaming, so I want to make sure everything comes out well. And there's a bit of a delay for me to see my playback on YouTube. Ah, yes, it worked. Okay, cool. I'm going to get you guys in the chat to be more visible as well. Can you guys hear me okay? Everything's going smooth, I assume. Seems like it. I think. Bah. Yeah. My microphone's working. Okay. Alright. So, starting off, we got Bayonetta as our person that we're going to be doing the matchups for today. As we all know. Me being the Bayonetta stan. And these are in order for how the website put them. I think it's alphabetical order. I could be wrong about that, though. Either way, I put a few fun ones at the front just so we can talk about some fun ones at the front before getting into some other ones that are kind of boring to talk about, like Bowser Jr. was the first character because of the alphabetical order or whatever. But anyways, so first, let's talk about Min Min. And you'll be very happy to know Bayonetta wins the Min Min matchup, hands down. I know a lot of people hate Min Min, find Min Min annoying. But I don't find Min Min annoying because I play Bayo. And I can literally just bypass everything Min Min can do. So Min Min is all about those ranged attacks that just trap you at ledge and get you off stage and keep you there. And she can just hit you from across the stage too. But against Bayo, that doesn't really work for her because Bayo can just fly around her stuff. And on top of that, Min Min can do a few things like do her up special and then like attack that way to try and hit Bayo in the air. But as long as you know that that's coming, there's just so much you can do to compensate for it anyway. So I think Min Min is probably definitely +1 or +2. I'm not sure which, or I'm sorry, yeah, +1 or +2 for Bayo, and I'm not sure which one. I want to say Min Min loses it pretty hardcore. She's one of the few characters who has frame data that Bayo can punish pretty easily. So I'm going to put her in +2 for Bayo. And so, yeah, that's our first one. Next, let's talk about Zelda. This is the controversial one. I hear a lot of people saying Zelda is either even or Bayo favor. And then you got a few people who say that it's Zelda favor. And honestly, if I were to pick one, I would say it probably is Zelda favor. But at the same time, after Bayo got her buffs, I haven't struggled with Zelda stuff nearly as much as I used to. Even though Zelda's gotten buffed a few times too, but now Bayo's buffs were pretty substantial for her character from 8.0 and on. So I think now it's even. I'm gonna play it safe and put Zelda in even. Yeah. Even for sure for me. And Palutena is kind of a similar case where Palutena was, I feel like, a -1 for Bayo. At least a -1. I think Palutena like beat out Bayo in almost every way possible. But now, I want to say after Palutena got her nerfs and Bayo got her buffs, I don't know how substantial Palutena's nerfs were, but from what I've seen, she hasn't been able to do some bullshit, like from her falling forward air, I think it was. Like she can't combo off of that as well now, if at all. And then also some other stuff like her dash attack have a lot of extra frame data now. And a few other things that she got nerfed with. And I think those have helped a lot for Bayo in the matchup. So if I were to pick Bayo losing or winning, I would say she loses to Palu still, but I think for now, she goes even with Palutena. Blue cushion. How you doing? Blue Cushion said, I feel like it's whoever can play neutral better. You're talking about the Palutena matchup, right? For Bayo? Yes, for the most part, I think it's whoever can neutral better. Beforehand, though, I think Bayo definitely lost. But now after the buffs and nerfs kind of work to try and balance things out at least a little bit, I'd say as long as the Bayo plays neutral better, I think she can win now for sure. So that's why I'm putting Palu as even. Now let's move on to Pikachu. And this one, I'm going to have the controversial opinion. Because a lot of people say that Pikachu is a really bad matchup for Bayo. And I have never struggled against a Pikachu. And I fought some Pikachus that I've, played them and said, wow, they're actually good, So I've definitely fought good Pikachu players. But I don't see half the problems people bring up. Like the whole pancake thing, sure. But just don't do an F smash if Pikachu's coming at you from the air, or say Pikachu's forward smash is apparently a big problem because if it's multi-hit, so you can witch time it and you would get punished, then why don't you just shield or don't go for witch time or something else? I don't know. I feel like there's other options you can do. I feel like once Bayo puts Pikachu in a bad position, she can really hold Pikachu there, and that's why I feel like it's not too much of an issue for her. But when we look at it realistically, of course, yeah, Pikachu has everything that she doesn't. It has good frame data, good kill power, it's small, and it has just like all those advantages in the book. But at the same time, when they're fighting each other, I think Bayo does just fine against Pikachu. If I were to pick one, of course, I'll put Pikachu as the one who's winning. But, okay, personally, I want to say they go even. I feel like that's a little too controversial, though. So I feel like if I put that as even, people are going to really just hate me for it. So I'll put Pikachu in -1. Just out of fear for the Twitter commune to not come in and hate me for putting Pikachu in even. You know what? Why would I care about that? You know what? Forget it. I'm putting Pikachu in even. Okay, Blue Cushion said killing Pika is hard though because you lose edge guards, but he can edge guard you pretty effectively. I disagree. Yes, he can edgeguard decently against Bayo, but Bayo's also one of the few characters that Pikachu can't edgeguard nearly as well as the rest of the cast. And on top of that, the vice versa is that Bayo can edgeguard Pikachu better than most of the cast too, because that's Bayo's specialty, is edgeguarding. So it comes down to whoever outplays each other in neutral, I think, off stage. And then on stage, I think Pikachu might have some advantage, but the Bayo, I feel like Bayo can do a lot to counteract Pikachu's stuff. I don't know. I think it's even. Most people probably say it's -2. Which is why I was going to put it at -1 just to avoid the angry people who are just like, kill the rat, kill the rat. Whatever. I'll compensate. I'll put him at -1. I don't think it's a -2 like people say. Alright, moving on to Bowser Jr. So Bowser Jr. is an odd case where Bowser Jr. got a few buffs recently where my complete game plan for fighting Bowser Jr. has had to change. Because before, Bowser Jr.'s love to do that thing where they just kind of like run on their cart back and forth on the stage. And before, I would just time with that and punish them. But now Bowser Jr. has super armor on that. And because of that super armor, I don't know what to do anymore. I mean, I can kind of try to play neutral against that, but he's so annoying with how he just race cars back and forth with his super armor. I do think she still has the advantage though, because she has the agility, the mobility to keep up with that regardless and be able to punish somehow. So I'm still going to put a +1 for her versus Bowser Jr. I definitely don't think Bayo loses it at all. Not in the slightest. I just need to figure out how to get around Bowser Jr.'s new super armor on that side special because it just kind of messes me up because I really don't know how to deal with it. Trevor Truong said, I think I just haven't gone against many good Pikas. Maybe it's harder on competitive level. So I'm assuming you haven't had trouble with the Pikachu matchup either, Trevor. I haven't had trouble with it either. And I've definitely fought competitive level Pikachu. Sure, I haven't fought whoever the best Pikachu in the world is. I don't know who that is. Maybe Esam or some shit. I don't know. But I don't have any issues with against Pika, personally, as Bayo. Maybe as other characters I might. Maybe not. I don't know. I play a lot of characters, though, so who knows. I'm just finding a middle ground and putting Pikachu in -1 because people are going to yell at me otherwise. But at the same time, I keep telling myself I don't need to listen to other people. Put Pikachu in even. But some other Bayo is going to come on here and act like they know better than me and say, how dare, he must be dumb. He put Pikachu in even. But whatever. Bowser, actual Bowser, not Bowser Jr., is an interesting case for me. I used to struggle so hard with this matchup. And back then, I don't know, maybe it's because Bayo was worse back then. I definitely thought Bowser was one of her worst matchups because he just shut down her defense and her offense. Because her offense is like all her multi-hits don't go through his tough guy mechanic. And then her defense is shattered between the tough guy mechanic and the grab and a command grab. So I just for the longest time had such a struggle with this matchup. And his moves obviously have so much more priority over hers. But nowadays, I don't know if it is the buffs or if it's just me also getting acclimated to the matchup. I don't really have trouble against Bowser's anymore. I still think he has advantages over her when you see things on paper. But I also feel like she has a lot to go and counteract him if you are the better player, of course. So I think Bowser went from a -2 from what I originally thought he was a -2 to eventually a -1, and now I think it might be even as well because he is combo food, and now I also know a lot of her combos way better than I used to, so that might also be another part of it. So I'm gonna put Bowser in even as well. Captain Falcon I think is one of Bayo's like just full on even matchup. There's no debate about it. He doesn't win against her, he doesn't lose against her. You would think on paper he would because he just like has frame data and kill power that she doesn't have. But he's also just, he seems to match her when you're going back and forth in a fight. I don't know, something about the matchup. Maybe it's because her air frame data is better than his. That might be it. I don't know. Something like that. So I'm going to put Captain Falcon in even. Maybe it's his predictability. That's what it is. Captain Falcon has better frame data and kill power than Bayo and is heavier, so you would think he would win, but it's his predictability that makes him so easy for Bayo to fight because Bayo is a bait and punish character, and because of her bait and punish characteristics and Falcon being pretty easy to read, it seems to be that she can punish him even when she's in a seemingly disadvantaged state. I don't think Bayo's disadvantage really exists much, so I think even with that, she can do a lot to take advantage of his predictability just because the character itself is so straightforward. Sure, a player can mix things up, but his moves is just like, you know, Falcon Kick, you know where it's going to go. Falcon Punches, you see it coming. The only thing you really have to look out for in the Captain Falcon matchup is his up special, because really good Captain Falcon players will throw you off by using up special when you think that you're going to be going against him with some sort of fancy move and land on shield or something. But no, he'll come at you with an up special and just break through everything. So you can't shield camp him like that. But yeah, his predictability is his biggest downfall in the Bayo matchup, so I think it's fine. Oreo is here. Here's Oreo. I see Pikachu is even and my soul has left my body. See, I knew some people were going to come in with this and not agree with me on Pikachu being even. Again, I've never had struggles. Blukashin said, do you have any tips to help bait an approach? Because I struggle to, but matters a lot, like in the Joker matchup. Yeah, okay, so the Joker matchup is a really good example for me to talk about this with, actually. Let me just drag Joker up here because we may as well talk about him now. Because I'll go into that and help you out here. So what I do a lot in my gameplay to bait and punish is I do what I call fake camping. And or you can also call it like aggressive camping. I don't know what else you could call it. And what I do by fake camping is I keep my distance from my opponent, but I don't do so by staying away and spamming projectiles, because obviously she can't do that. I mean, for most characters at least, her bullet climax goes above their head. So what I do is I fake camp by running around them, flying around the enemy and feinting a lot. So I'll feint a lot with nairs. I'll like run up to them and maybe get a fair distance away where I know they don't have anything that can hit me, and I'll jump and do a nair, and I'll also feint back with it. And even just something as simple as that can be so good at baiting an option out of them that right after I feint away with the nair, they do something stupid and I can ABK them and start a combo. You just got to get the distance down for something like that. Another thing I do that I don't see anybody else doing, I'm the only person I know that does this, but I will run up and I'll feint back with an air dodge, a quick jump air dodge back. Because personally, I think Bayo's air dodge should always be used instead of her land dodge, her grounded dodge. Her grounded dodge is so bad. It has so many frames, and then she's not invincible for a lot of it. And I also think that her grounded dodge has less frames for you to, or bat within activates later than in the air. I think it's frame 2 or 3 on the ground, but frame 1 in the air. Either that or it's frame 2 in the air and frame 3 on the ground, something like that. So Bayo's air dodge is much better for that sort of thing. And it's way faster. So if you run up to someone, jump and air dodge back real fast, it's way faster than if you were to run up them and then like just regular dodge back and feint back like that. And even just like when you're in the midst of battle, just using air dodges to dodge back and forth or wherever you need to do is always way better than grounded dodges. I found it gets me bat within so much, and with bat within you can punish a lot faster because it negates a lot of her end lag and landing lag and stuff like that. Other ways to bait out approaches with taller characters, yes, you can use bullet climax. With someone like Samus who can really camp you out, I have found the perfect strategy is to just spam uncharged bullet climax at Samus, because Samus is tall enough to get hit by that. And you can actually out-camp Samus with Bayo. It's the funniest thing. You wouldn't think it was possible, but you can do it. And it's really funny. I did so on Wi-Fi, which is saying a lot. We all know Samus is a Wi-Fi character, and Bayo's the exact opposite of that. And I was still somehow able to bait this really campy, really good Wi-Fi Samus recently, and several of them actually. But there was one I can think of particular who was really, really good. And I was able to beat them just by switching my gameplay up to just camping them with bullet climax. And then once you do that, you can work your way up to start baiting people and camping people with bullet arts. The best one would be down tilt bullet arts. So if you use down tilt bullet arts, you get more damage because she's shooting from her hands and her feet at the same time forward. And also she'll shoot some backwards. So even if you accidentally down tilt the wrong way and hold it for bullet arts, you can still hit them with some bullets. And if they're up close, it can trip them, which is also really useful. And of course you can use her other bullet arts to feint and camp people out too and bait approaches out of them. It is a lot harder in this game, obviously, than Smash 4 because the bullet arts doesn't go nearly as far as it used to, but that's still a thing. So I hope that helps you figure out how you can kind of bait options out of people. She has a lot of mobility, and I think what you need to do is just abuse her mobility to your advantage, to bait approaches, to bait mistakes out of the enemy, to even just work your way in no matter how you can do it. You know, just use her mobility. That's the best thing I can say. And when you're in a disadvantaged state, a lot of times you can just fly away from whatever your problems are. So for Joker, let's talk about Joker. Joker in particular, I have this really funny thing that I do where every time he gets Arsene, if I know the player is good enough, so for instance, I fight my friend Gamebreaker a lot. Gamebreaker is really good and he plays Joker. And he's also the most aggressive player you'll ever meet. And because he's the most aggressive, good player that plays Joker, who is someone you can just abuse their frame data and kill power, every time he gets Arsene, I fly away from him. You can fly away from him going up, you can and then just retreating to ledge as you come back down, or fake him out with the platform, whatever, or by going off the stage and coming back and just outsmarting him off stage because he won't be able to punish you. Joker has less things that he can do to you off stage than you can do to him. So that's something you can do there. On top of that, you should know the trick of bullet climax to cancel your landing lag. So if you do the thing where you retreat upwards, and you think that you're not gonna try, if you want to throw them off and not retreat to ledge when you come back down, what you can do is go all the way to the top with your jump cancels and even an ABK, whatever you want to do. You can use every resource in the book. If you use bullet climax, just do it uncharged to get it out faster. Use bullet climax. If you finish the animation before touching the ground, you lose all of your landing lag. And on top of that, Game Breaker, stop. I see Game Breakers here now. On top of that, if you move and do any other movement before you touch the ground, though, after using the bullet climax, you'll get your landing lag back, even if you just air dodge. So be careful of that. You don't want to do that. And sometimes you might have to. If they are really about to hit you in the air, yes, air dodge out of the way, and you'll be safer that way. Hopefully that helps you guys out. Okay, hold on. Let me catch up on the chat real quick because I see Game Breaker got here. He said, nice thumbnail, buddy. So the Bayo picture in my thumbnail, Game Breaker took that photo. So props to Game Breaker. I use a lot of his, actually. You'll see his logo on a lot of them because I use a lot of his photos that he gives to me. But some of them are also my own. I take a lot of photos as well with Bayo. So let me catch up here. Oreo, you said, all good. Makes the comparison of my matchup chart and yours more interesting. I'm assuming, Oreo, you had Pika at like a -2 for Bayo. That's what most people do. Game Breaker said, please acknowledge who took the snapshot in the thumbnail, please. Yes, that was Game Breaker. Bluekishin said, thanks for the advice. I'll definitely try everything out. Okay, good. So I'm glad you were able to jot all that down, and hopefully it helps you, because it definitely helps me. That's how I don't have so much trouble in these matchups. Yeah, so okay, I'm caught up on the chat, so let me move forward now. So Joker is an interesting one. He's another one who, of course, when you look on paper, we all know Bayo has bad frame data and bad kill power. Joker has all of that. He has good frame data and good kill power, but I find Joker to be kind of predictable. And just like Captain Falcon, I think that also works to Bayo's advantage because, like I said, she's a bait and punish character. And Joker's just a really weird one because when he has advantage, he has advantage. You know, if you're pushed to the edge with him having Arsene, it is really scary. And you got to be careful because his counter is so fast and lingers for so long and it's so powerful. You'll die to an ABK. If you ABK his counter, yes, you'll die, even though that wouldn't have done anything to him, you know, things like that. But because he's predictable, you can bait and punish him pretty well. And like I said, Bayo's one of the few characters who can just camp out Arsene so well just by flying away. And as long as you outsmart them, even if it's a really good player like Game Breaker, if you just outsmart them, you can camp out that Arsene. And if you get a combo on him as well, while he has Arsene, say if you do what I told you earlier, where you can feint and then get a punish because they pick a stupid option. If you get a combo on him, that makes his Arsene go away even faster. And she can take out Arsene in like 1 or 2 combos, which is also nice. Granted, she can give it to him in 1 or 2 combos, so you want to be careful not to overextend and also not to let him live for too long if you can avoid that, which of course we all know is really hard as Bayo, but it's a lot easier now after the recent buffs. So I'm going to put Joker in -1. I would say even, but he's also pretty agile. So even with his predictability and with the things that she can do to get out of his bullshit, he does still have a lot of mobility as well and is so fast. And when our sun comes out, is so strong and so fast that it's hard to avoid the fact that he does have advantages over her, which is really sad. Halcyon, I don't know how to say your name. I'm so sorry. Hi, what makes you think Pika is even? I got here late. See, I knew people were going to ask me this. Should I re-explain this? I don't know if that would, like, extend the stream too long. I'm going to need a bottle of water for explaining this so many times. So basically to try and summarize what I said earlier. Pikachu. I've never had trouble with Pikachu, like a lot of people have said, and I have played good players with Pikachu as well, and yet still have never struggled. Not particularly struggle, I should say. I think obviously Pikachu has the better frame data and kill power and is small and hard to hit. But I also think that as long as you pick the right options, things that people complain about, like the pancaking and the multi-hit F smash, things like that can just punish you even if you witch time it, I think those can just be avoided by picking better options and different options. Say, if you know Pikachu's going to pancake, don't do a forward smash. It's obviously not going to hit. You can do a down air. You can just do a quick down air, do an up smash, down smash. Typically, I would go for a down air if I don't know where they're going to land, because down air has a hitbox that can kind of go behind her as well. And you can just do like a short hop down air, you know, like the easy input, jump plus down air at the same time. And then also I said that Pikachu, Bayonetta is one of the few characters that can punish Pikachu off stage really well, and also that Pikachu can't punish off stage as well. So she has a lot to counteract Pikachu because of that. But Pikachu does still have advantages over Bayo, obviously, when it comes to frame data, kill power, and size. I was actually, you missed it, I was putting Pika back and forth between -1 and 0. Like, I wanted to put -1 just to make people happy, and then the other side of me was like, no, but I feel like she actually does go even with Pikachu, so why do I care what other people think? So, just to avoid people asking this question again, I'm going to put Pikachu at -1. I definitely don't think Pikachu's -2 like people say. Okay, so... Oh, it's Halcyon. Oh, okay. I actually thought it was Halcyon more so than Halcyon, but glad I got it. Cool. Our Warboy said, yay, I just noticed Bowser Jr. is in +1. He is my second main with Toon Link, my first. Wait, why is that yay? This is +1 for Bayo, by the way. Unless you're happy he's just not in +2. I don't know. Yeah, Bayo is +1 on Bowser Jr. Did I do this wrong? Did I set this up wrong? Or is this right? Like, +2 for Bayo, right? Yeah, I set this up right. Okay, anyways. Moving on. Chrom. Chrom is so cool. And such a fun matchup that I don't get to play as much anymore, because ever since New York City shut down, the one Chrom player I got to play with, I can't keep in touch with him. I don't know his info. So I would just play him in person at this gamer bar that we would go to. But Chrom is such a fun character to fight as Bayo. But I do think he outclasses her. He is so strong and so fast, and the one thing she has on him is offstage. Obviously, she has offstage down pat. But Chrom's punishes are so hard and fast. And his movement speed is so fast too, that I think it's a -1. I'm going to put him in I'm going to put -1 for Chrom. And Chrom also has really cool and really fast combos that I've struggled to get out with even as Bayo. Like, I know I can bat within out of a few of them, but sometimes if they do it frame perfect, I think some of his combos are just like maybe even inescapable. Then again, it might have just been Wi-Fi. I really don't know. Ubi Man, what's up? Oh my gosh, welcome. I think it's your first time joining me on a live stream, Ubi. The Ubi Man is flying, and what's up, everyone? Just doing the matchup chart for Bayonetta and 11.0 of Smash Ultimate. I know you play a little Smash, Ubi, so I hope you enjoy the talk. I don't know who you main, though. Let me know who you main, because that'd be fun if I get to talking about whoever you main. Warboy, you didn't know +1 is bad. Yeah. Sorry, +1 is bad for Bowser Jr. It's +1 for Bayo. Sorry about that. Anyways, moving on. Let's talk about Cloud. Ooh, Cloud is weird. Cloud is really weird for me because I particularly struggle against Cloud for some reason as Bayo. His hitboxes are so big, and his frame data is actually really good on the ground, especially for having such big hitboxes, and his grounded speed. He flies so fast. He's really fast, And his airspeed. His speed is just fast. And he obviously has complete control on stage. And then loses it off stage. But you would think she would go at least go even with him because of the offstage thing. But it's not as simple as take him off stage as you might think. Getting him off stage is particularly hard, from what I found. And his out of shield option is so good. And it hits Bayo, you know, like she can't really do anything about that out of shield option. She's really bad against shield camping. So I'm going to put Cloud in -1. I feel a lot better about having Pikachu here now than an even. Because looking at this, people would probably look at me and say, this is blasphemous. You having Pikachu in even and having Cloud in -1. But there we go. To just kind of take the soreness away from the crowd. Blukashin, a question. Do you think that I need a secondary if I full on main Bayo? I think do what you want. I think do what you love, play the characters you love. I have secondaries and stuff only because I like other characters too. But I play Bayo 90... It used to be like 99% of the time, but now I'd say like 97% of the time now. Maybe 96% of the time. If you're like thinking competitively, maybe you might need it. But as you see as we go through... well, I don't want to spoil it. But as we go through, I guess I'll just say she's not going to have very many -2s, in my opinion. Halcyon said Cloud's landing options are pretty bad too. Are they? How so? I don't agree with that. I don't think I agree with that. I think Cloud has really good landing options. People like to say his landing options are taken away because his nair is not humongous like it was in Smash 4, but his nair is still pretty big and fast. And his down air is really good. His up air is really good. His up air, like, hits from the bottom of his feet and up. Like, he has decent landing options, in my opinion. Then again, I guess when I play as him, I do find trouble figuring out how to land. I don't know, maybe it's just fighting against him that I struggle with. So maybe I can agree with you that he has bad landing options. Like, the more I think about playing as him instead of playing against him, I guess he does have bad landing options. It is pretty hard to choose. And you have to choose really wisely when you're playing as Cloud, because, as we know, like, getting hit off stage as Cloud is really bad for him. So I can agree with that, I guess. But he also has, like, no landing lag and can attack right after he lands. I don't know. Maybe because I don't play Cloud like that, so maybe that's why I personally struggle when I play as him to find a landing option. Because when I play against him, I don't really find that he struggles much with that sort of thing. Maybe he does, though. I don't know. Either way, I'm going to move on from Cloud because that one's such a weird one that it's hard for me to talk about. Corrin got buffed a lot recently, along with Bayo. I think they got buffed around the same time. And Corrin's buffs were scary. I used to play Gamebreaker, and Gamebreaker, or I still play Gamebreaker, but I used to play Gamebreaker as Corrin a lot and, like, never had a trouble with it. And then after Corrin got buffed, I just saw this, like, 180 of me just really struggling against Corrin. Like, his up air killing way earlier now, and a few other things that he got, like frame data and some, like, recovery options were made better and stuff like that. He's a real threat, but it's definitely nothing she can't handle, and she's also nothing he can't handle. So I'm going to put Corrin in even. Like, she can do some crazy things, like bat within out of his charged F smash. Like, if he's charging that F smash and you F smash that razor thing with his chainsaw, and you're SDIing away, and you bat within at just the right time, you can escape the hit. You know, like, it's not going to get you like it would every other character. So, but then again, his frame data is so good that he can catch her really easily. So I think they just go even. Alright, Halcyon said, Nair is solid. Def not as bad as people say. I agree with that, for sure. But Dare isn't exactly the best, especially since it lingers so long, which makes it easy-ish to witch time. It is easy to witch time, but if they fast fall, his fast fall is really fast, so it can be hard to do, at least on Wi-Fi, which is mostly where we're playing right now. So I might just be skewed by Wi-Fi right now. That might be it. Depends on the stage, I guess. that can also be true. Say like a stage where he can wall jump, he's not in nearly as much trouble, which I was so shocked to find out he could wall jump. But yeah, when he wall jumps, like so on Kalos, you know, he obviously does way better. And that's honestly, like, in my head when I picture fighting him, I picture Kalos. I think it's because most of the Cloud players I fight pick Kalos just because he can wall jump, now that I think about it. So that might also be what's skewing my opinions about him in the matchup. It might just be because I keep facing him on his best stage or something. Which I don't mind. I like a challenge, so I don't mind when people choose their best stages. I just want stages that I can see on. I have really bad eyesight, so it's a huge detriment to me when I can't see on a stage. So like Lilat, I can't see. Town and City and Smashville at night in the evening, can't see. I can kind of see them on them in the daytime, so it's more tolerable, but like that stage is still really busy. I can see just fine on Kalos. I can see just fine on PS2 somehow. You would think I wouldn't because it's pretty dark, but like something about the lighting makes it easy to see the characters. And I can see on Battlefield and kind of on Final Destination, but not really. And I can kind of see on that Sephiroth stage, but yeah, for me, like, my issue isn't really the stages themselves so much as just being able to see on them, which is really sad. I was explaining that to my friend Ronan recently, and they were like, dang, that sucks. I was like, yeah, I know, tell me about it. Having really bad eyesight really sucks, because I know people who tell me they have zero trouble with these stages, and I'm like, well, screw you. Anyways, back to the topic at hand. Halcyon said, I don't really mind giving Cloud his wall jump in exchange for better kill confirm access. So Cloud versus Bayo isn't too bad. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Right, I know you meant on Kalos, but you said giving him his wall jump in exchange for better kill confirm access? Oh, are you saying because Bayo can also use wall clinging to her advantage? I could agree with that too. That's another weird thing about the matchup, is that like they both kind of gain an advantage on that. And I also don't think, I feel like a lot of people say Bayo doesn't do well on Kalos, but because of those walls, I feel like that adds so much to it that she does just fine on Kalos. And she can also survive a little bit longer when other people try to kill her, which is also nice. Anyways, back to the topic at hand. Let's talk about Paisley. Let me see if I can get fucking Peach up here. Most people would say that this is either a -1 for Bayo or they go even. This is a hard one. You guys are gonna hate me for this, but I think I'm gonna put Paisley in -1. I think. They just have so much. So Paisley has good frame data and kill options. I feel like I'm repeating myself with that because obviously everyone has that over Bayo. But they have, Paisley is Bayo's, what Bayo would play like if Bayo was fast. Let me put it that way. And with, in my opinion, a better projectile. I think the turnips, being able to throw them wherever you want them is just like really good. And she has a good recovery. She has good spacing. She has so many safe options. Oh my god. If you just spam back air with that short hop glitch thing that you can do, and then also her side special, which has iframes, and also you can't witch time it easily. There's like only a very few frames you can actually witch time that side special, because the rest of them, it's just as if, like, if you didn't witch time, it would have hit you. But when you press witch time, it just kind of like she just sits on top of you. It's the weirdest thing, and I don't know why. But like, I feel like she just has so many safe options, whereas Bayo doesn't and can get punished pretty hard by Daisy and Peach. That I think they do have a slight advantage over Bayo. But they're not like the worst thing in the world either. Like, they're definitely tolerable, especially offline. But then again, they're both better offline. So, but I do think she's still more tolerable offline because Bayo does do pretty well against them. Dark Coco said, I'm terrible against Shulk. Well, we'll be getting to Shulk eventually. Warboy said, wow. Wait, what's wow? What's wow, Warboy? Huh? Halcyon said, yeah, the walls and the platforms are awesome for her, so IDK what people mean when they say it's bad for her. Yeah, I don't understand it either. For me, I think Bayo's worst stage is either Smashville or FD. Yeah. And not because, like, those are bad stages for her, but because when people take you there, it's typically because their character benefits from those stages. So, like, let's say a Fox taking you to FD, right? Obviously, the Fox is going to have every advantage in the world. Or a Zoner taking you to FD. The Zoner is going to have every advantage in the world, like Samus or whoever. Mega Man, whatever. But I don't think, like, she has a particularly bad stage. But I think other characters have particularly good stages. If that makes sense. Warboy said, I didn't know Peach and Daisy were good. I don't really know them all that much. Really? People talk about Peach and Daisy being some of the best in the game all the time. I'm surprised you never heard it, Warboy. Peach and Daisy are a major threat in Ultimate. Major threat. They're definitely, like, top 10 or 15, something like that. They're top tier for sure. I just don't know if they're, like, top 10 or 15. Because I think we have quite a few top tiers in this game. All right, so Dark Pit. I feel like there's not much to explain with this one. Dark Pit has better frame data than Bayo, but worse movement speed. And I'm going to say his projectile's good. His zoning options are pretty good. He can gimp her with his down special if she's, like, on the last string of her recovery. And he can get her off stage pretty well too. But, like, his movement speed is pretty bad. And his moves, people fall out of his moves pretty easily too. Like his F smash and his up smash and stuff. And Bayo in particular can bat with it on top of that. So I'm just going to put them in even. We'll come around to Pit later, and I think Pit's actually a different story than Dark Pit. I think Dark Pit's better than Pit. So we'll get to that later. Halcyon said, I don't like either of those stages for her either. Yeah, I don't like... I like them for her, don't get me wrong. I just think that against certain characters, it becomes a big detriment. All right, Dark Samus. Let me get Samus up here, because while the two are pretty similar, there are, like, very slight differences. I don't think the slight differences make the difference for Bayo between these two. So I'm going to put them in the same spot, and I'm going to put them in even. I think it's even. I mentioned earlier, I think a lot of you missed this because you weren't here, but I actually found a way to outcamp Samus as Bayo, and that's just spamming Uncharged Bullet Climax, because Samus is tall enough to get hit by that. So long as she doesn't have a fully charged thing, you can just prevent her from getting a fully charged charge shot, because you can just spam neutral special against her. It's the same with Palutena, actually. I don't think I talked about that earlier, but Palutena is another one who's so tall, you can just pow, 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 and then, like, she just, like, and can't really do much out of it, and then you can kind of go in for something, possibly, or you can just keep zoning, whatever. Those are some of the few characters that Bayo's Bullet Climax hits, like, from far away, uncharged and whatnot. And then, of course, you can switch it up with Bullet Arts, and also fully charged Bullet Climax, you know, different things like that. And then, of course, with the Bait and Punish, and what I talked about earlier, how I have that fake camping, that aggressive camping that I talked about, you can use those to your advantage as well in this matchup, as well as the Palutena matchup, and most of these matchups. Diddy Kong. I don't play many Diddy Kongs. I find Diddy Kong to be really hard to go up against online, but I still usually win, even though it is harder. Z grabbing his his bananas, like, throws him off so bad. And you can do really cool things with that. And you can fall out of his stuff a lot. And the only advantage I think he has over her is his size and maybe frame data, but I don't even know if his frame data is that great. +1 for Bayo, I think, personally, with Diddy Kong. I think she wins it. I've always expected to have trouble with Diddy Kongs, and I've never had trouble with Diddy Kongs as Bayo. Like, it's so, I think it's winning. Donkey Kong. I hate fighting Donkey Kong as Bayo when it's like multiplayer, because the only way my boyfriend and I can play together is on online co-op, because he doesn't have the game, and the only option for playing on the same system online is online co-op, which keeps team attack off. And we face double Donkey Kong so much on there, and they just spam up special and it works, and it's so annoying. But anyways, we're not talking about that. We're talking about an actual 1v1 with a Donkey Kong. Yes, he can kill her in like 3 hits. Yes, he's really fast. He's actually pretty damn fast. And yes, he has a big ass shield, and it's really hard to get in on him sometimes, but his options are pretty unsafe. And he's also really big combo food. And ooh, it's +1 for Bayo, for sure. Maybe +2. Maybe +2. Dark Coco said DK is probably the easiest for me. Yeah, he might be a +2. Warboy said give Diddy 20 million years to evolve and he'll become Mega Man. He does play like a Mega Man wannabe. That is kind of funny. They came out in the same game too. Yeah. He's evolving though. I mentioned earlier his super armor on his side special made me have to change my entire game plan in fighting Bowser Jr. as Bayo. Because I used to punish him in a completely different way before he had that super armor. Now he has it. Me Gunner. Oh god. Oh god. Me Gunner is small and hard to hit, pretty fast, and has really good ranged options against Bayo in particular. And he's just like, he's so sly in getting away. And he gets away with stupid shit too. Like, I will do the smartest thing and he will somehow get out of it and punish me. Me Gunner is probably -1. Me Brawler, on the other hand, +1 for Bayo. Me Brawler is just a standard up-close combat. And because of that, he's very straightforward and predictable. And, I mean, as long as you know what moveset they have picked out, right? And then Bayo can punish him pretty easily. And yeah, I mean, there's not really an issue there. Solar Moon. I love that name. Solar Moon. Hi. Hi, Solar Moon. Dark Coco said, maybe it's DK is probably easiest for me. Maybe it's because I fight so many of them and they're so predictable. Yeah, DK is predictable. That's another thing. But then again, I have been thrown off by some of that side special that like shield breaks. I have been thrown off by that before. But as long as you know that's coming, obviously you can compensate. All right, me Sword Fighter is a little more tricky. Especially when they have that swoosh sword projectile thing, which I don't think it true combos, but it's a pretty scary thing that if you do it wrong, you can get out of it. Jonny, it's literally solar. I know it's you. I was saying I love the name Solar Moon. I've never seen you say Solar Moon before. But hi, what's up? You missed a lot. I guess you can go back and look over it later. I know a lot of people have been bugging about Pika. I was going back and forth between putting Pika and even and -1, and people were bugging. So, oh, hi, Jeremy. What's up? Jeremy's my friend from, I want to say France. Yeah, France. Whoa. Dark Coco said, I'm really bad against small and fast characters like Sonic. I think a trend you'll see as we go forward is that small, campy characters, I think, are Bayo's worst matchups. And we'll see. We'll see as we go. I'll show you more as we go through here. All right, so me Sword Fighter, that like projectile thing he has is pretty scary, and but other than that, he's so standard. So I'm gonna put me Sword Fighter in even. I find it kind of funny that we have Brawler and +1, Sword Fighter and even, and Gunner and -1. That's kind of funny. I do think the Gunner is the best out of the Miis, personally, and the Sword Fighter is second best. I think the Brawler is the worst. I think the Brawler is pretty bad. Cyan, what's up? Good to see you. Someone said, why DD +2? You mean DK +2? I explained that was because he's predictable, he's combo food, and his options are pretty unsafe. Even though he can kind of shield camper and he's pretty fast and has a lot of kill power, she just has so much that can go against him, you know. And taking him off stage and doing those combos on him is just like too much for him. Even with SDI, like if you're a good player like me and Halcyon, you can just compensate for the SDI and like catch them. So I'll actually be putting a clip up soonish of showing you guys what you should do when people SDI, because I see so many people put up clips and they're like, this character sucks, Bayo doesn't work, because they'll like do a witch twist and they'll fall behind and then the Bayo does a fair in the opposite direction. I'm like, okay, well in that moment you could have back aired, you could have up aired, and then continue to combo too. She has so many resources that you can take advantage of. Anyways, so that's why I think Donkey Kong's a -2 or a +2 for Bayo. So Dr. Mario is really strong, but he's predictable and pretty slow. I personally don't have trouble with him. The only thing you really want to look out for when fighting a Dr. Mario as Bayo is his cape when he like reverses you to go the other way. I've actually been caught by that before and I felt mad stupid for it. And it'll actually reverse your controls for a while, if I remember correctly. So just be careful of that. Other than that, like, he's not really any trouble, especially offline. So I'm going to put him as a +1 for Bayo. So, Duck Hunt. Halcyon, what do you think about Duck Hunt? Solar, what do you think about Duck Hunt? I need to ask you guys, my fellow Bayos, I need to ask you guys what you think about Duck Hunt, because personally, I struggle so bad against Duck Hunt. I don't know if maybe it's because it's Wi-Fi. Maybe it's because I've only fought Wi-Fi Duck Hunts. I don't think I've ever fought a Duck Hunt in person. But to me, Duck Hunt is like Snake, but smaller and harder to hit. And he's a zoner because of that. And he sets up an obstacle course that I still haven't figured out yet. Personally, I'm going to put Duck Hunt in -2. Just for myself. But I've heard that it's not as bad as I think. I just probably haven't figured out his obstacle course that he creates yet. I think that might just be it. I haven't figured that out, and plus Wi-Fi makes it harder too. Solar Moon said, you're doing well. I'm glad you're doing well. Halcyon said, yeah, IDK why people don't capitalize off single hit, missed hit, witch twist. It's so good for her. I agree. People, first of all, it's way less likely nowadays that people even fall out of witch twist because it's so much harder to SDI out of it. And then second of all, yeah, if they fall out, they think they're home safe too. And they can't really punish from when they fall out because they get hit out pretty far. But she has the resources to chase after that, and they don't really have that. So yes, you can capitalize off of people SDIing out of your combos pretty well. Dark Coco said, oh yeah, like Duck Hunt, which I never run into, but when I do run into one, I get camped out. Yeah, me too. Okay. So another thing is, maybe I also haven't figured out the obstacle course that Duck Hunt creates, because I think I've only fought 2 Duck Hunts in my life, and they were both over Wi-Fi, and they both created their obstacle course, and I didn't know what to do. Also, they can use that explosive thing at like frame 1, just like Snake, I think, and get out of combos. Either that or it might have just been Wi-Fi making my inputs come out too slow or something. I don't know. Halcyon said Duck Hunt is like even or -1. He's got a frame 1 escape option. Okay, so it is frame 1. He can crawl, but he does lack range. Well, I don't think he does lack range. I think that's his biggest strength. I think he lacks up close options. I think every time I've gotten up close to him, he's kind of struggled. And then also you can fall out of his smash attacks or something really easily. But again, I've only played like 2 Duck Hunts in my life, and I've hated it both times. So, I'm going to put him -2 personally for now until I figure out his obstacle course. His zoning isn't great, but like it's still a bit rough. Yeah, it's rough for me. I feel like she has the resources to get past it because she can fly around. I'm going to put him in -1. Just put him in -1. I feel like once I play more than just 2 Duck Hunts, I'll have it figured out. So, Warboy said, wait, okay, I'm sorry. I cannot, oh yeah. Warboy said, I'm gonna translate that name. Okay, I learned something new. I used to be able to read hiragana. Let me see if I can read it. Masareru? Masereru? I confuse hiragana and katakana sometimes with the sa and se. So I'm not sure. And then I'm also really trippy on the R's. So I don't know if that's a... Oh no, that's he. He? Masahiro? 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 Masahiro. Like Masahiro Sakurai? Am I right about this? Halcyon said, like, you can witch time crouch under his down B, and his side B is pretty slow. And I would be wrong, but... I could be wrong, but bullet climax beats... can. The can. Beats the can. Like, I've tried that. Maybe I didn't have enough attempts. Again, I don't think I had enough attempts, though. So it is more Duck Hunt's favor? Okay. Well, at least I don't feel dumb for putting Duck Hunt as the advantage. So it is Masahiro. Okay. It took me a few tries to get it. I'm so rusty on my Japanese. I'm so rusty on it, but I did used to know it pretty well. Okay. Falco. Falco's another combo character, and I think they buffed him to where you don't fall out of his stuff as much. He's also really good in the air, which is where Bayo also shines, so he can kind of turn that against her. And he's also better than her on the ground, for sure. I think he also has better zoning options, plus a reflector. But he's also predictable. And he's not too hard to combo. And you can fall out of his stuff. And with Bat Within, it's a lot easier for Bayo to escape his stuff than other characters. So I'm going to put Falco as even, I think. Fox, on the other hand, Fox depends on what stage. It depends on what stage you're fighting Fox on. Fox has the advantage full on FD. But I don't think he has the advantage as much on stages like Battlefield. But then again, he's not bad against her on those stages. So I'm going to put Fox as a slight winning. Because Fox is like Falco, but faster and stronger. And like his moves are just like one hit and will KO instead of having to connect them. And you don't have to worry about falling out. And he doesn't have to worry about comboing because he can just do one hit and KO you. So he's also really hard to combo. Like, sure, we have certain things like heel slide to F smash and things like that, but that doesn't make a good combo, I guess I should say, or a winning matchup. So I think Fox has a slight advantage. Masahiro said, I am a Japanese Bayo player. I assume so because of the hiragana, but welcome. I'm glad that we can understand each other at least a little bit. Halcyon said, I do think Falco is even slight Bayo favor. He's so slow and his disadvantage is horrible. Yes, his disadvantage is bad. You're right. I don't think he's that slow. At least not versus Bayo, because Bayo's frame data is obviously also really bad. But yeah, his disadvantage is pretty bad, and she, of course, has like little to no disadvantage at all. So his neutral is so aerial-based, and ABK just denies him that. I don't agree with that, because they... what's the word? They clash. They trade. So I don't think it shuts it down completely, which is another reason why I think they would go even, because it's just like who gets a hit in first too. But he does make us explode, so we gotta respect him. Yeah, he can kill us, but we can also make him explode pretty well too, like at least compared to some other characters. So yeah, I would say even through and through, personally. Ganondorf. We obviously win the Ganondorf matchup. Let's be real. Yes, he can kill us in 3 hits. But if you get hit by those 3 hits, you're getting outplayed. I've been outplayed by a Ganondorf before, and I could fully acknowledge that I was being outplayed. So I think we are a +1 on Ganon. Especially after the buffs. I think before the buffs, we went even with Ganon because she was just so unreliable. And if he just fell out of something simple, he could have killed us. But now that she doesn't have those issues as much anymore, and that she can kill earlier and kill faster, I think she definitely beats Ganon now. Halcyon said, ABK beats everything besides Nair, but when he does that, I feel like you can grab him as long as you react. Beats everything, but not from my experience. I have traded with... Falco is one of the characters I've traded the most with in hits, especially aerial hits. So I don't know... Maybe you're just getting your hits in before the other person. As far as I know, they trade. And then you said... Warboy said, I knew Ganon was going to be bad because he's slow. Oh, hey, Momus. What's up? Glad you're here. This is your first time on my stream, too, I think. Or maybe you were on my first one, too. I don't remember. I'm sorry. It's been a while. So... Yeah, Ganon is slow movement-wise. I don't think he's slow, like, attack-wise. I think his attacks are pretty fast, and they're definitely faster than Bayo's. And obviously have way more payoff, but his movement is so slow, and he's pretty big and a big hurt box. So I don't think he does too well. I hope this doesn't feel awkward for you guys watching this, because there's no music. I actually meant to figure out how to put music on to play in the background beforehand, but I forgot to. Next time I'll try to make sure I do that. When I do I'll probably do a tier list next time instead of a matchup chart. But for now, I hope it's not awkward for you guys to just be watching me with no music in the background. Masahiro said, I think Fox is very strong, so Fox maybe -2. You know, you might not be too far off on that one, Masahiro. I think Fox... If he just shield camps, you're right. Like, shield camping... Fox shield camping is so scary. But I don't think it's that bad. I don't know. I don't think it's -2. Scion said, what are some buffs you'd like to see for Bayo in the future? Me? The only buff I want is Witch Time buffs. I just want... Or, like, the one I desire the most is Witch Time buffs. I desire better startup and better end lag. Not the... I don't think it needs to last longer. I think if they just fix the frame data for it, then the fact that it doesn't last very long would be fine. But for as it stands, it's really hard to capitalize off of it sometimes because her frame data is so bad. And also, you can't... Sometimes you'll get a read on someone and get a Witch Time, and she'll do the back handspring. You see her touch the ground, you see the flash of light, and she still gets hit, and the Witch Time doesn't come out. So I think that's stupid, especially for a move that's so hard to capitalize on regardless. So... That's my biggest want for a buff. That's really the only buff I think she needs. But I would also like some other buffs, or fixes, I should say, to like her smash attacks from clanking with things like jabs. I would like some fixes for Bat Within not sending up. I think she should be able to go up with Bat Within, just like Mithra can with her Foresight. And I also think that Bat Within should maybe give her resources back, if not go up, or something. I don't know. I think Bats Within is too risky off stage, and it's annoyingly risky. When you could have just when you did press an air dodge to get back to stage and something hits you, every other character, they would have just air dodged past it, but she turns into bats and goes under the stage and dies. Like, I think that's so stupid. Like, that shouldn't be a thing, especially for a character that's not one of the best in the game, you know. Warboy said, sometimes music on streams glitch and the music gets so loud. Peace and quiet is good every now and again. I'm glad you think so. Halcyon said, I think Fox is pretty even, TBH. Getting him in the air is too hard. I don't think it's even. I think as long as the Fox stays grounded, I think he has every advantage in the world on us. But of course, other than that, yeah, we have advantage. Could be that Fox is worse off online though. So IDK, I've struggled with him both offline and online, so I don't know. Momo said, can anyone explain why Pyra Mithra has Bayo's dodge BTW? Beats the fuck out of me. And I think that the way they implemented Mithra's Foresight is how Witch Time should have been implemented in the first place. Like, instead of her having a counter and then Bats Within separate for air dodge and stuff, it should have just been what they did for Mithra. Mithra. That would have been so much better. And it makes so much more sense. And it would have been so much more fluid. Like, just do that. And we could have reserved that special for an actual special. Like, her specials that she has, like ABK and Witch Twist, are so lame. I think those are, like, some of the worst moves they could have pulled from the Bayo games. Dark Coco said yes, buff Witch Time. Yeah. That's the only buff I really want, is Witch Time buffs. Everything else would be like a cherry on top. Like, there are ways around the whole F smash clinking thing. Like, you can do tilt attacks. And then the Bat Within thing, I guess you could try to pick a better option in the heat of battle, but it can be hard sometimes. Alright, Greninja. I think we lose against Greninja. Greninja has a lot of things that Bayo has, but better. Better combo game. Better speed. Better weight. I don't think he's as light as her. Better kill power. He's good off stage. She's obviously a little better off stage, but he beats her out on so many things. But it's not the worst thing in the world either. Because he can be predictable. Then again, he can also throw you off with a Shadow Sneak. I don't know, it really depends. A good Bayo can definitely be a good Greninja player. But I'd say if you had like an even Greninja player and an even Bayonetta player, the Greninja would win. Just because he has so much more advantage, and getting him to disadvantage state is so hard. Sion said, yeah, I agree. Perhaps like it starts on frame 5 through 6, yes. Frame 6 startup at the very least. And a total of 55 to 60 frames. I think 55 frames would be good. That's what it was in Smash 4. And even in Smash 4 it felt clunky, but like I'd take that over this 66 frames any day. The fact that she takes over a second for her animation for Witch Time to finish, I think is ridiculous. It's so unnecessary, and it just brings a match to a crawl for both players, and it's annoying. Momus said, what's the way to DI out of Bayo combos? I still haven't figured that out. You want to SDI, not DI. So if she gets you in Witch Twist, you want to SDI, which is taking... Here, I'll show you with the controller. Taking your analog stick and wiggling it like... Let me see if I can get this up to the webcam. And wiggling it like to a corner, like that. You can do like down and away, up and away, even in and down or in and up. In some very rare cases, you can do that. I would do like in and up. If you're like a very skinny, lightweight character, you can do that, and you can pop out on the opposite side of her, which is the best option to do if you can do that. But most characters can't do that, I don't think. Not anymore anyway. They used to, but after her recent buffs, you can't really do that as much. Warboy said, dang, Greninja is good in some cases. In any game he is in. Yeah, he's also good in Pokemon competitive, isn't he? Sion said, I would also like to see Nair having more knockback and maybe an up smash knockback buff like what F Smash got. I'd be fine with more smash attack buffs. Nair killing, sure, why not? If it had more knockback growth, why not? Because I think it's a lesser used combo tool in general, at least at higher percents, so that would be fine. As long as they don't make up air. I like the way up air is the way it is. And it's also really disrespectful. I love getting people up to like above 200 and 300% just to kill them with up air. It's so funny to me. But yeah, I think Nair is unnecessarily has no knockback. Like you'll get someone at 400% with Nair from center stage and it won't kill. So I think Nair is unnecessarily weak. So yeah, that would be nice. Halcyon said, I feel Greninja just can't deal with the shield pressure at all though. Oh, he has horrible out of shield. I disagree. He doesn't have like an out of shield attack option, but he can just spit himself away out of shield. So I think he deals just fine with shield pressure. And then from then he basically resets neutral, and I think he wins neutral in general. So I disagree that he has a bad out of shield option. Halcyon says he def beats us grounded, yeah, but I feel like he loses in almost every other situation. He struggles to keep Bayo outside from using neutral B. She might have slide advantage in... He's hard to hit in the air, but she does technically have advantage in the air. And then off stage, I think she has a slide advantage, but he also can turn the tables on her pretty easily with one wrong move from the Bayo. Especially with his up special, the way it spits you away. and you might lose your resources in the process and get gimped by that. I don't know. When I think of Greninja, I think of what's that dude's name? King Venya. And I think of what it was like when I played against him. And it seemed like he had advantage in the situations, and only by outsmarting him quite a bit could I get anything out. And that was back when I was way worse than I was now. So maybe if I played him now, I would do a lot better. I think I could probably take games off of him now. But back then I couldn't, so I don't know. But I've played other Greninja since then, and from what I've seen, it seems like they have advantage, but if you outsmart them, you can still win. You said he can up B out of shield, yeah, but that's like frame 20. Is it? Is it that long? It doesn't look like it. I don't know. Greninja might be a weird one. I do think he has a slight win over us though. Ice climbers. Yikes. Really don't know much about them. I'm always taken aback by their what's that thing that they like disjoint themselves or whatever. I'm always taken aback by that, and it can be kind of rough for Bayo because of that. I think when you witch time one, the other one can still hit you, and I've had other times when like I'll bat within something and then the next hit hits me. So I think they also have really good shield camping and a few other things. I think it's a -1 for Bayo. I think Ice Climbers beats Bayo a little bit if they do their disjoint thing. Oh, and her combos don't really work, especially if they're right next to each other. Because as we know, if you hit two people with like a Witch Twist and an ABK, it throws the whole thing off. So yeah, Ice Climbers is pretty bad for her, but it's also somehow not the worst thing in the world, and I think it's because they die pretty easily. And they have some... I think you can confuse them pretty well, because they're pretty straightforward. I think that's it too. Sure, their out of sync hitboxes can be wonky, but they're still pretty straightforward otherwise. Like, you know what options the player is going to go for. Alright, Ike. Back in the day, Ike beat Bayo hands down. Since then, they've both been buffed. Well, Ike's been reworked and Bayo's been buffed. I want to say they go even. Because when he has advantage, he has a lot of advantage, and when she has advantage, she has a lot of advantage. Then again, but if she misses something, he can kill her. So it's kind of weird like that. It's the same thing with Zelda. So Zelda and Ike are kind of the same boat, where if Bayo has advantage, she can hold it strong, but one mistake can lead to them killing you. And then they also, if they have advantage over you, you're in a pretty scary situation. With Zelda, it's obviously because of Phantom, but with Ike, it's like his hitboxes are so big, and he's not that slow at all. So it can be pretty scary. So I think they go even. Incineroar, he's weird because I feel like she has every advantage over him, except his command grab. His command grab is pretty good, but I still think she has most of the advantage in a fight against Incineroar. He lacks a lot of mobility and a lot of speed. So I'm going to say Bayo has the advantage against Incineroar. You just got to be careful. The only thing I can think of that you really need to be careful against Incineroar is two things. One of them is his down smash, not to do a down tilt when he does his down smash or any like a grab or anything like that, because obviously he goes over, kind of like K Rool. And then the other thing is his command grab. You just got to be careful for that. That shit is scary and it's dangerous. So just be careful. Alright. Inkling. Back in the day, as I keep saying, I would have said Inkling won so hardcore against Bayo back in the day. Nowadays, I think it's a little bit easier for Bayo to win this. Personally, I think it might be even, but if you really look at it from an objective standpoint, Inkling has a slight advantage for the superior speed, movement speed, kill power, and also the roller. The roller is no joke. If that thing lands on you, you're dead. But Bayo also has quite a few options that she can counteract it. So I don't think Inkling's the worst thing in the world like I used to. Back in the day, I would have said the Inkling was one of her worst matchups, but it's really not that bad anymore. It might be even, honestly. I might change it later. I don't know. But I think technically Inkling has a slight advantage. What do you think, Halcyon? Or Solar, if you're still here? Let me know. Isabelle. I think I've gotten better at the Isabelle matchup. Before, I would have said Isabelle might have had a slight winning. But I think, even though Isabelle has so many things that can throw Bayo off, Bayo can also destroy her mines pretty easily. So I think I'm going to put Isabelle in even. I don't think Bayo has... I don't think Bayo wins it, and I don't think she loses it per se anymore, not after her buffs. Even though Isabelle got buffed too, I think Bayo's are more substantial. So I'm going to say that they're even, because Isabelle just don't die. Isabelle does not die. I don't know why. You'll get him with full-on thing, you'll hit him at 140%, and she'll just do an air dodge back to the stage, and then float on her damn balloons. And hitting her is also really hard when she does that, especially on Wi-Fi. So I think they're even. Warboy said, Isabelle used to challenge me, but now the dog is the one who gets flung. Yeah. Yeah, same. I think Isabelle used to challenge me more, and then now it's not as much of an issue, for sure. Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff does what Bayo does. Jigglypuff is best in the air, has to combo in the air, and has really bad grounded options, really bad grounded speed for running, pretty bad frame data. Even in the air has pretty bad frame data. And I think Bayo outclasses Jigglypuff in a lot of ways and can kill Jigglypuff really early. And there's some combos that are easy to get on Jigglypuff that don't work on a lot of other characters. But Jigglypuff's not bad. So I want to put Jigglypuff in -1. But I'm going to put Jigglypuff in -2. Because Bayo can just do so much to Jigglypuff that Jigglypuff tries to do to Bayo, and it just doesn't work for Jigglypuff. But don't make this look like I'm saying Jigglypuff is bad. Far from it. I think Jigglypuff is solid mid-tier. But in this situation, I think Jigglypuff struggles a lot. Because Bayo just does everything better than Jigglypuff that Jigglypuff tries to do. Ken. So Ken is scary because you don't want to fall on his shield at all ever. And you don't want him to catch you in anything ever, even though his jab is super fast and it can catch you. You can kind of bat with and out of his stuff, and you can SDI out and away from his stuff. But he kills you so early, and he can catch a lot of your options with his up special, even if you're in the air, and kill you. So I think in the Ken and Bayo matchup, whoever gets the advantage first is going to run home with it. So I'm going to put them in even. I think Ken might be even with Bayo, and it just really depends on who gets the advantage. You can, of course, torture him off stage, but he tortures you on stage. So as long as you can get that advantage on stage first, he's going to be in a pretty bad spot, but you're also in a pretty bad spot if he gets the advantage first. DDD. I personally struggle with DDD for some reason. I think it's the timing of his Gordos and the fact that Bayo's moves, so many of her moves don't hit Gordo back, even though Wii Fit Trainer's ball does. But then again, Bayo's Bullet Arts hits Wii Fit Trainer's ball back, but it doesn't hit the Gordo back. I don't understand the logic behind it all. Whatever. Either way, technically I think DDD does lose to us. Maybe. Maybe. I might put him in even. I'm gonna get judged so hardcore by the Smash Bayos if I put him in even. But no. I don't know. I've had DDDs pull the reversal on me so much before. Okay, I think she technically wins it. But if you make a mistake, it can be deadly. I think that's it. King K Rool is one of Bayonetta's best matchups. No, let me put him to the left. This is how good this matchup is for Bayo. I'm putting him all the way. First person on the +2. Bayo just... She has something for everything K Rool can do. Except maybe a super armor on his crown, but that's... But you can also do so much other things. Like, you can torture him with his own crown if you Z-grab it. You can combo him to death. When he tries to recover, you can witch time his recovery. Not many characters can punish K Rool's recovery because that, like, blade thing, like, just hits them. But she can witch time it. She can also go around it and back air it and fly back up on stage. She can torture him off stage. She can torture him on stage. She can torture him in the air. She has decent frame data compared to his on the ground. The only thing you really have to watch out for with him is his down smash. Just like in Cineroars, like he lifts up and comes back down. But that's it. Other than that, yeah, I think this is one of her best matchups. I actually lost. I had a friend who legitimately got so angry at me at the beginning of Smash Ultimate when I told him I think King K Rool was her best matchup. He got so offended that I disagreed with him because he thought he was just like the best of the best and that no one could disagree with him. That he just like completely cut me off ever since then. And now look. King K Rool's still up here, and it's been proven that King K Rool suffers against Bayo. Kirby is interesting because Kirby can kind of go back and forth with Bayo off stage. But Bayo still has the advantage off stage, but Kirby has the advantage on stage. So Kirby is similar to Ken, where whoever gets the advantage first has it. And I'm a Kirby co-main. Like, I co-main Kirby and I co-main Bayo. So I've played this both ways. Whoever gets advantage first can take it and run with it pretty far. With Bayo in particular, if she gets Kirby in a combo, it's really hard for Kirby to escape the combos. And Kirby dies really early to combos. But also, with a raw read or with like just camping, spacing Bayo out, and when she has that land lag, Kirby can just kill her so fast and so early. So they're going even. They are even. I also do think Kirby's better than a lot of people give Kirby credit for, but it might just be because I co-main Kirby. So I can do amazing things with Kirby, so I don't know if maybe that's it. But definitely think they're even. What's up, chat? You guys are going silent on me. I'm guessing Halcyon and Solar aren't still here. If you guys are, though, let me know some of your opinions. Link is also interesting. I don't know how to explain this matchup. How do you explain the Link Bayo matchup? Sion said, how good do you think Bayo would be if her ABK and Witch Twist had their original height back in like the Smash demo? I'm not sure about ABK. Witch Twist for sure would make things a lot better. ABK, I don't know if the hitbox would still catch from a short hop ABK, then yeah, it would definitely be better. If it didn't though, I'm not sure how that would change it. Personally, I don't like to use short hop ABK as like a neutral option. So personally, it would help me if ABK had that better height, even if it didn't hit on the ground. It just depends. Warboy said, Kirby used to be my main till I found out people don't like Kirby mains. What? Who doesn't like Kirby mains? The heck? Who doesn't like Kirby mains? Kirby's amazing and cute and fun. And Kirby mains are great. So, Tad said, Link beats Bayo IMO. He can outrange her a lot. So I definitely think that's the advantage Link has against her. That plus, once he outranges her and gets her into just the right position, he can kill her. But also, she can use a lot of his stuff against him. So like his boomerang, for instance, and his arrows. You can Z-grab them, throw them, and use them in a combo. His bombs. And then he's also pretty easy to combo as well. And he has a lot of end lag to some of his moves that you can punish. So, and he's also pretty straightforward when it comes to his actual normals, his attacks. So, I'm going to put them in even. Because while he can outrange her and kill her early, she can use a lot of his stuff against him. And she can destroy him off stage. She can... both of them have a lot of build-up to get to where they want to be to get the kill on the other. Both of them have to do a lot to kill the other. And I think that's why it's even, is because where Bayo can struggle against characters that kill her in like a few hits, Link has to do so much. The Mario Karter, welcome. Pika only -1? Yeah. I explained it twice earlier, maybe 3 times. I don't think I can explain it again. My throat hurts. I guess I can try to summarize for you. But yeah, I put Pika in just -1 because I don't think Pika's as good against her as people say. The pancaking and the multi-hits, I think she can get around them. And also, off stage, she can do amazing things to Pika. And Pika, while he can do amazing things to her, it's harder for him to do amazing things to her than most of the cast. So, and she can get out of things like that too. She has virtually no disadvantage. So, yeah, that's why Pika's only -1. But Pikachu obviously has that extra advantage just because of the size, the kill power, the multi-hits, and the speed. Alright, so Little Mac. Okay, well. FD, Little Mac's a little more trouble, but any other stage. I've found that if you just stay on platforms against Little Mac, he can't do anything but maybe up special. I think that's like the only thing he can do on most platforms to hit you. And him getting up there to try and hit you is so predictable and easy to punish. So, unless it's on FD, definitely +2 for Bayo. Lucario, I think, is one of Bayo's worst matchups. Lucario is exactly what Bayonetta suffers from, Lucario gains from, to a high degree. So, Bayo has trouble killing, and Lucario lives, you're done for. Lucario can do so much on a stock with high percent against her, and he can kill her so early. So early. Like, I'm talking like 20% sometimes with some things. It's crazy. Ted said, I feel like Little Mac is surprisingly even with Bayo. It might not be as bad as people say, but I still think she has a lot over him. Ted said Lucario sucks. Ted, we disagree on so much, Ted. I don't think Lucario sucks. I think Lucario is a solid mid-tier, maybe high mid-tier. And especially against Bayo, like I said, he thrives off of her biggest weakness. So, yeah, and his frame data is not bad compared to hers. His speed isn't bad compared to hers, especially the higher his percent gets. Because his up special can get faster and faster and go farther. Jeremy said, I hate fighting Lucario. I hate fighting Lucario, especially on Wi-Fi and as Bayo. If I go Zelda, Lucario's dead. Doesn't matter. Nothing you can do. But if I'm Bayo, that's when the trouble starts. Warboy, do the other 2 Links get ranked separately? Yes, they will get ranked separately because they play very differently from normal Link. My throat hurts. Would you guys hate me if I go grab some water? I'm gonna wait for you guys to respond to that before I go grab water. Lucas. Lucas has advantage a little bit. Lucas is one of the few characters who can try and match Bayo off stage, kind of like Pika. And also, unlike Ness, he doesn't get gimped off stage easily either. And he has several recovery options off stage. He's faster than Bayo, stronger than Bayo. He's small, which is an issue for her. He can zone better. He has a lot of tricks up his sleeve. He has really good combos. I think he has a slight advantage for sure, but it's not the worst thing in the world because she can get him pretty well with his disadvantage. Like, if she gets him a disadvantage, she can do some pretty amazing things to him. Whereas she can get out of disadvantage easier than he can in the matchup. But then again, it is pretty hard to get out of disadvantage against him, and he can reverse things against you off stage pretty handily. So it just really depends. Oh, Ted said, nah, I meant fighting Lucario sucks. Yeah. Yeah, I don't like fighting Lucario. When it comes to... Well, fighting Lucario is not the worst thing. Like, it can be fun. It's just scary when he gets up to a high percent and I'm Bayo, you know? I don't mind fighting him when I'm Zelda or Snake or anyone else. Warboy said, Lucas used to be my boy until my friends found out my PK Fire and Lightning tricks. Oh, yikes. Yikes. Alright, I'm gonna grab water. My throat is killing me. Hold on, what's that? As you can see my door, kind of. Okay, so Lucina. I feel like a lot of people overplay how good Lucina is, and then people get mad when people don't overplay how good Lucina is. So I don't think Lucina's as good as people say, and I don't think she does as well against Bayo as people say. She might have a slight advantage. Personally, I've never had that much of an issue with her because she is very predictable. Lucina is one of the most predictable characters in the game. So even though she has great kill power, great speed, great aerial, great defensive and offensive options, she's bad off stage, and also she's very predictable, which is just like Bayo's bread and butter. But then again, she can also kill Bayo rather easily because of all her what would we call it? Her advantages. I'll just say advantages. So I'm gonna put Lucina in even. People will probably disagree with that. People are probably gonna disagree with all the top tiers that I put not in -2 for Bayo, honestly. Luigi. I think Luigi is supposed to be heralded as one of Bayo's worst matchups, but again, I disagree with that too. People are scared of him because of his shield pressure and then his up special hitting really and killing really early. Because we all know that Bayo does bad against shield camping. But you can totally avoid that. I hate to break it to you guys, but it's not that bad because you can totally avoid that. And Luigi has a pretty bad disadvantage against Bayo. Not a very good advantage against Bayo. And she can space him out pretty well. She can camp him. You can stay out of range of all his stuff and punish him with bullet arts and things like that. Get his percent up and then go in for a kill somehow. Because he has quite a bit of end lag to a lot of his stuff too. So I don't think he wins either. Or he loses either. So I'm just going to put him in even. And then Mario is a bit trickier. Because where Mario lacks those early kill options that Luigi has, Mario makes up for in just better overall speed and better advantage and disadvantage states than Luigi. And Mario can kill really early too, though. And his cape is another thing you gotta watch out for, just like with Dr. Mario. Gotta watch out for the cape, but he has a better recovery than Dr. Mario. So while I put Dr. Mario, and I think I put Dr. Mario in losing to Bayo, yeah. Dr. Mario's losing to Bayo. I think I'm going to put Mario in even with Bayo. Yeah. People are probably going to hate me for that too. Jeremy said, yeah, I agree with you for Lucas. My best friend main him, and sometimes I struggle against him with Bayo. Yeah, Lucas has a lot that he can do against Bayo. Warboy said, Luigi gets bullied by almost everyone. Sad life he lives. I don't mind it. I don't really... I like him better than Mario, I guess, but I don't really like him that much either. Warboy said, even his own brother. Oh, yeah, yeah. Marth? Personally, I find Marth scarier than Lucina to go up against his Bayo because with Marth, you want to stay out of range, of course, right? And then if you can get hit by his tipper and die so early. Lucina can't kill you that early. So I find him scarier, but he also lacks a lot of things that Lucina has when it comes to, you know, speed and movement. So I think they balance out to also be even with Bayo, just like Lucina was. Green Me said, Jonny is such an icon. I am? Am I really? I would be happy if that's true. I don't know if it is true or not, but I'll be happy if that's true. So thank you for saying that. All right, Mega Man. Mega Man is scary as hell. He can outzone her. He's small, hard to hit. Better kill power. His speed isn't bad. He's pretty decent off stage. He can reverse things on you. His advantage state is good. I think he has a slight advantage over her. The ways to get past Mega Man is probably doing that fake camping I mentioned earlier. But even that can be difficult because he has so many ranged options that hit you at the same distance as, say, like a fainting nair that you could punish from, or a bullet arts. So it is a little more difficult to punish him. Honestly, he might be -2 for Bayo. I don't know. What do you think? What do you guys think? Do you think he's -2 or -1 for Bayo? Kioma said Lucario. Yeah, Lucario. I mentioned earlier why Lucario is such a struggle for Bayo. It's because his aura mechanic takes advantage of her biggest weakness, which is her struggle to confirm kills. And once he gets past a certain percent, he can take all 3 of her stocks with that one stock. So he's very scary against Bayo. Meta Knight. Meta Knight's faster. He's not that much stronger though. And then he has decent combos. And he's also pretty good off stage. So his disadvantage is actually he doesn't have much of one either, just like Bayo. He's one of the few characters that has a very small disadvantage. And he's a little harder to combo. But she's also hard for him to combo. I think they both have to work a lot for their kills, and they both have a lot of the same struggles. Lucario also has a lot less reach, though. And they're both very unsafe. I'm going to put them as even. I think watching them fight is going to be a very boring match to watch. Because they're both going to be like going back and forth and missing each other, and then like not being able to really capitalize when they do finally get hits. So Kioma said Mega Man is so ugly, but we can sometimes get free witch times. Well, we can get free witch times, but he has so many multi-hits that we get those witch times from that you can't capitalize on him. Either because you get hit by the second hit, or because he spaces out so well with all of his moves that you can't get close enough in time with the witch time, with the duration and the frame data. So not y'all having to watch me drink water. This is so awkward. I feel mad awkward seeing myself on camera drinking water. Also, that water tastes like bleach. I probably should have checked it before I drank it. Anyways, Mewtwo. So, Mewtwo has a huge hurt box. Gosh, Mewtwo is one of the easiest characters to combo as Bayo, or catch, I should say. Maybe not combo, because SDI works really well for Mewtwo since he's lightweight. But catching Mewtwo into a combo in the first place is so easy. Other than that, he's decent at spacing and camping out, but she can also camp out about just at the same amount. And their frame data is comparable. I mean, his is a little faster, but he has quite a bit of end lag, just like she does to a lot of his stuff. I'm going to put them as even. It really feels like every time I fight a Mewtwo, whoever outsmarted the other wins. Like, I've been outsmarted by Mewtwo's, and they've been outsmarted by me. You know, and I can go back and forth with them. You know, it's definitely based on who's better. Warboy said, I need to see what Toon Link is, then I'm okay with everything else. Well, I'll make sure to save Toon Link for last, so you stay on with me. Game & Watch. I hate Game & Watch. Oh my gosh. This character is so badly designed. He gets away with everything. Everything. His frame data is so good, he can spam smash attacks, he can spam a burying smash attack, he can bury you and kill off of it at a low percent. He has a frame 1, I think it's frame 1, right? Or is it frame 3 up special? Whatever it is, really good. And it gives him invincibility. Can't punish it. You can't punish recovery because of it. You can't really get him off stage as much because of it either. His aerials are pretty good. His grounded game is even better. He's hard to combo. He does die easily, but she dies just as easily, and he gets those kills way easier than she does. So... what do you think? -2 or -1? Kioma. Game and Watch. -2 or -1? Do you think he has that much advantage over her? I'm thinking just -1. I don't think it's that much advantage. But it is pretty bad. It can be very grating and annoying. I think that's what it is. Kioma, you said it's a very horrible matchup, I know. Yeah, I think it's horrible more so because of how annoying it is that he gets away with so much stuff. But I also don't think it's the worst thing in the world, so I think it's only a -1. Ness, she has so much to counteract Ness that Ness can do against other people, but not to her. Like the yo-yo, she can just fly around it. Her up special hits him from the ledge. They can fight each other in the air, but she can also gimp him easily from the air when he tries to recover and then survive herself. He's also pretty predictable. So I'm going to put Ness in... like, he gets kills on her decently easy, but she can also SDI out of his flames. Like, yeah, you can SDI really easily and bat within out of his flames and stuff. I think she's a slight win over Ness. I think she can beat Ness a little bit. Ronan said Bayo Snake even. We're not to that yet. The world isn't ready for that conversation yet, Ronan. Oh, you messaged me. You said, are you free right now? Well, to answer your question, I'm not free right now. Not fully anyway. I can talk to you on here. Kioma said Rose is lying in chat, please. Oh, you're saying Ronan. Yeah. Kioma said, I genuinely feel if the Bayo won, the Game & Watch didn't know how to deal with her advantage state always. Yeah, but it's also hard to deal with Bayo's advantage state. So, can you really blame them? Bayo has a really good advantage state. And, like, a almost non-existent disadvantage state. Stop saying it. We're gonna get to that conversation, Ronan. You don't have to say it more. Now you're screaming. I can't. Alright. Olimar. I'll be honest, I haven't fought Olimar all that much. I think he does have the advantages, but not like the worst thing in the world. Her bullet arts can do some stuff to get his Pikmin. And then, but he does kill her mad early. And he has decent combos and but his recovery is pretty bad. She can punish him pretty hard. I think it's just getting him there is hard. Getting him to his disadvantage state is hard. But if you can get him there, you can run with it. But I do think he has the advantage just because getting him to that disadvantage state is pretty hard for her. Oh, you needed help setting up a Discord, Ronan? I don't honestly ask Prince Acai. He's the one who helped me. I don't know how to do it all that well either. Also, you're in my Discord. Rude. No, I'm just kidding. You can outcamp... Kioma said you can outcamp Olimar, but purples are just pain. Alpha's... Warboy said, Alpha's better than Olimar. He stuns the opponent with his cuteness. Ronan says Bayo wins. Witch time Pikmin, easy. That's right, when they're on you, you can witch time them. I'm sorry, it's been so long since I fought an Olimar. You're right. I'm gonna put him in even. I don't know if it's winning per se, but I'll put him in even because I forgot that you can just witch time them if he does latch one onto you. Which is really funny. Pac-Man. Man, Pac-Man is... I hate fighting Pac-Mans. Funny enough, I hated fighting Pac-Mans more in Smash 4 than in Ultimate, which is funny because Bayo was better in Smash 4. But Pac-Man... I think Pac-Man has more tools to beat Bayo than Bayo has to beat Pac-Man. But it's hard to come by good Pac-Man players. So I'm going to put Pac-Man in -1. I think he does have more tools to beat Bayo, and it's hard for Bayo to punish a lot of his options, especially if the Pac-Man's creative. But she can also do a few cool things to Pac-Man that Pac-Man can get away with against other characters, such as when he's recovering. And also she can fly around a lot of his stuff too. And her smash attacks are really, since they're long range, you can hit the hydrant pretty easily. And especially when the hydrant blows, so what you can do is you can do a smash attack when the hydrant blows the water, and the hydrant will push you away, so you can do it safely where your Madama Butterfly Fist still hits the hydrant, but you get pushed safely away by the hydrant's water. So if you can time that, that's also really useful. Warboy said Pac-Man is only annoying if he spams his side B and up B. Yeah, his side B is annoying, isn't it? And his up B, yeah. I agree. Rona, you need to get a Discord set up for a tournament. I don't know how to do that. Sorry, bub. Sorry, Bubba. Twano Knight said, hello, Slayer. What up? Glad you're here. Good to hear from you. I'm just talking about the Bayo matchup chart, as I'm sure you saw by the title. Now we're about to talk about Pichu, which is basically Pikachu, but even smaller, even faster, even better combos, but also way easier to kill, and like way easier to kill. And also predictable enough even still. I think Pikachu's predictable too, and Pichu's just as predictable as Pikachu, to where I think Pichu either goes even or is a +1 for Bayo. Like, you can kill Pichu at like 70% with an F smash as Bayo. It's insane to be able to kill a character that easily as Bayo. But we can do it with Pichu, and Pichu hurts himself as he goes, so I'm gonna put him as even, because if Pichu gets you in a deadly combo, then of course you're fucked. But you can also get Pichu in one combo and then land a raw killer later or something, and yeah, it goes pretty well. Tono Knight said, the weird thing about Joker is that Dennis, the Bayo player from Philly, is able to defeat lots of Jokers. Yeah, I don't think Joker is that... compared to other characters, I think Bayo does pretty well against Joker. I beat a lot of Jokers too. I beat most Jokers, actually. I don't think I really struggle against any Joker players. So I think I beat all of the Joker players that I know. But I can lose to them sometimes, and it's usually because of his just general advantage of his character, not because I was outplayed, which is sad, but it happens with this game apparently, unfortunately. Warboy said, just can't Pichu until he is high enough to kill. That's easier said than done, because Bayo's pretty laggy, and Pichu's so fast that if you are trying to camp the Pichu, he can hit you. And also it's hard to feint with a lot of moves and hit Pichu, because Pichu's so small. So it's just whoever's going to get that advantage is going to run home with it, which is what I've been saying about a lot of the characters who are uneven. So Piranha Plant has a slight advantage only because of Patui, but also has a big disadvantage because Bayo completely negates his poison gas. So if a Piranha Plant ever poison gases you, you can witch time it and it turns it into yours. So not only will it hurt the Piranha Plant, but you won't be hurt from it at all. And you can punish him too in some pretty amazing ways from when you do that. So it's really hard to gauge this one. But Patui is very dangerous, and it makes a lot of her stuff really hard to do. So what you want to do is like get little hits in until you know for a fact you can get a full combo and that's true, or else Patui just screws the whole thing up. Once he gets to higher percent, it's not too hard to get a raw kill on him, but it can be difficult, as with any character as Bayo. He's also really easy to combo, and you can get him pretty well off stage if you just do like bullet arts up air off stage. Not nair. Nair, he'll like hit you with his recovery, but if you do bullet arts up air, it hits him, and you don't trade either. And sometimes you can also do other punishes too. It's really hard to witch time it though and stuff like that. I'm gonna put him as even, because while Patui is a huge threat to her, if you play around that and then use the things against him that you can use, like his poisonous gas, and also just like comboing him, taking advantage of his disadvantage, then you got it, you know? But then again, it is hard to get to that point, and it's hard to work around his Patooey. So it's going to be down to who plays with the Patooey or plays against the Patooey better, I think. Warboy said, I just realized the Ritz ad is gone and now I'm not hungry. There was a Ritz ad? Where was there? Oh, is it on the website that I'm on? Oh, that's funny. Just watch out for Piranha Plant's up B spammers and you are fine. Well, you can punish the up B in certain ways. I do find it odd though. He has like no landing lag when he lands from his up special. It's really weird. Twano Knight said, Bayo can't just up B or side B. Gotta wait for the Patooey to go away. Yeah. So you gotta wait for the Patooey to go away, or you got to do a move, like a tilt attack, that you know if he does shoot a Patooey out, you can back away or do something else to get out of the way. You know what I mean? I think down tilt is like your best friend against Piranha Plant from what I remember. For combo starter at least. But you want to be careful. So typically you'll hit him with a move, right? You'll get him in the air. The Piranha Plant's first reaction is going to be to Patooey. So what you can do is throw him off by just waiting for him to do whatever with that, or do something that's going to like negate the ball. Like you can grab him and wait till the ball's about to hit you, an F throw, and then go for a combo or up throw or whatever you want to do. You can do an up throw to instant double jump, true combo or something, right? He almost said just grab Plant. Right, you can grab him. Like what I was just saying, yeah, just grab Plant. But there's a few things you can do against him. Pit. I mentioned earlier, I think Pit is worse than Dark Pit by quite a bit, actually. Whew, mad awkward. Me drinking in front of everyone. Pit is worse than Pit 2, or than Dark Pit, in my opinion. By quite a bit. I think it's a +1 for Bayo. Because Pit doesn't kill nearly as early as Pit 2. His projectile is worse in my opinion. And just like with Pit 2, or with Dark Pit, you can fall out of his moves really easily. So he almost said Pits piss me off. No, Dark Pits piss you off. I promise you. There's no way getting pissed off by a Pit. Pit is not good. Pit is not very good. Dark Pit is good. Pit's not as good. Pokemon Trainer. Yo, we lose this one. I hate to say it, we lose this one. Especially when they go Charizard. You would think she would do well against the heavy, but Charizard, if they just go Charizard the entire match, she can't kill him. And his movement speed, his attack speed, everything is so fast, and he can kill you so fast. And then you just can't kill him. You just can't kill him. And it's so risky every move you make because he can do something to punish every little thing you do. Whew. -2. He can even throw you off by switching to another Pokemon too if he does get into some sort of disadvantaged state. Charizard is hell for Bayonetta. I agree, Kioma. Charizard is hell for Bayonetta. I think we do fine against Squirtle. Squirtle's probably even. Ivysaur is also probably even, but it's the Charizard that's really the issue. Kioma said up smash out of shield by Bayo. Yeah, that'll do it. Twano Knight said Pokemon Trainer is a nightmare. Yeah. Warboy said Pokemon Trainer rolls you when I'm distracted by the shiny skin of it because I'm a shiny hunter. Oh, I actually play with the shiny color scheme when I play Pokemon Trainer because I like the Squirtle with the silver shell. I think it's pretty. All right, Richter. Where's Simon? They literally play exactly the same, so I'm going to group them at the same time. Richter and Simon, I don't think do as bad against Bayo as people think. I think people just like focus on the fact that she destroys them off stage and in the air. But their ground game is so far ahead of hers that it makes things very difficult for her. Back in the day, I would have said it was even, but they've buffed Bayo quite a bit since then, so I don't really have as many issues. So I'm going to put Simon and Richter as +1. I also wager, I haven't tried it yet because it's been a long time since I played a Simon and Richter, but I'm sure you could like bullet climax camp them as well because they seem pretty tall. But I haven't tried it, so don't take my word for it. Because like I said, it's been a long time since I played a Simon and a Richter. No one plays them anymore. Okay, Ridley. Ridley, is also a character I don't think does as bad against Bayo as people think, especially if the player knows how to SDI. So I think it's a -1 for Ridley and a +1 for Bayo. And Ridley can kill her pretty easily, and he has a command grab, and he's not that slow, and he has a decent projectile. He can be kind of hard to get in on sometimes, especially if they shield camp and spam the projectile. So that's why I think it's not too much in Bayo's favor. Actually, it might even be even, but I'm going to keep him in +1 because I already know Smash Twitter Bayos are going to judge me if I put him in even. And I can also agree with arguments that she has advantage over him, so may as well just put him in the +1 for Bayo. Robin? No. I don't care what anybody says. Robin wins. I don't care what anybody says. Robin wins the matchup. Robin wins it hands down to me. I don't think it's just a personal struggle of mine. I think this has to be just like the Robin Bayo matchup. It's like Robin can kill so early, and Robin has some confirms that will kill Bayo from 0% so fast. And it can be so hard to get in on Robin and then hold the advantage because one mistake from whether it be SDI or whatever it is, Robin can just punish so hard and kill so easily on Bayo. She gets killed so early by Robin, and then conversely, Robin doesn't die easily either. So I think Robin wins at least slightly. So Kiyoma said it's even, we won't tell him. So we agree Ridley is even? Okay, I'm going to put Ridley in even too then. Lumen said, should Robin is pretty frustrating to face. Yeah. Robin is frustrating to face as Bayo. As Zelda, I can play Zelda, beat Robin easily. I mean, I think Zelda wins that matchup. But as Bayo, it is a struggle. It is a struggle. Jeremy said, yeah, I agree with Robin. Yeah, okay, good. So everyone agrees with me except maybe Kiyoma, because Kiyoma's talking about how Shliketh he is. So I don't know what Kiyoma's opinion is. What is your opinion, Kiyoma? I guarantee you Robin is winning. I guarantee you Robin wins the matchup. Rob. That's hard. I think for some reason, even though Rob is really hard to combo, Rob doesn't die. I don't know why. Like, Rob in particular just doesn't die. Like, you'll do a kill combo. You'll be all the way in the blast zone. You'll hit him with fair 3 after spacing it perfectly so that you're all the way in there. And he still doesn't die. And then, after he doesn't die, he becomes your worst nightmare. Because then you can't land a raw kill on him. And he's just going to start racking your damage up, camping you out, and killing you. And he's a little harder to camp out than a few others because his spinner plus his laser make for a really scary 1-2 combo. But then again, you can grab a spinner from him and use it in combos. I don't know. I think Rob is slightly winning. So yeah. Rosalina and Luma. Stoka and I both agree. Stoka's one of the best Rosalina and Luma players. And I play with Stoka a lot. We both agree it's even. Bayo, Rosalina, and Luma is even. They both have crazy things they can do to each other and crazy ways to get out of each other's setups. So I think they're even for sure. Rosalina and Luma's biggest weakness against Bayo is that she's combo food. Her biggest advantage against Bayo is that her stage setup is ridiculously insane. And also she can control Rosalina and Luma, you know, mid combo and stuff too. So it can be tricky. Like, I've literally gotten a kill and then been killed while the Rosa was off stage by the Luma hitting me while the Rosa's dying. So like, there's some pretty crazy stuff they can do to each other. But I do think they go even. They're pretty insane against each other. It is kind of annoying as Bayo to fight Rosa. If you really want to play optimally against Rosa, you have to really camp, and that can be really annoyingly boring. But that's it. Roy, I think, definitely wins against Bayo. It's just a matter of how much he wins against Bayo. I think he wins because his frame data is just that good and his speed is just that good, plus his raw kill power. And his aerial drift isn't bad either for getting back to stage, and his recovery is not too bad, even though it is punishable, but it's hard to punish it because the hitbox is so big. And you really want to like be able to get around it first, but that can be impossible in some situations. And then his ledge guarding is pretty good against anybody because his down tilt is insane. But he's predictable because just he's very straightforward in the way he plays. That's his only weakness against Bayo, is that he's predictable. But he definitely wins against her otherwise. So I'm gonna put him in -1 for Bayo. I think he beats her a little bit just because of his sheer character privilege over her. But his straightforwardness, and I think a skilled Bayo could, especially offline, could definitely take care of him and possibly even make quick work of him. Jeremy said Rosa even. Interesting. Yeah. What do you think? Rosa was losing to Bayo? Or I'm sorry, you probably thought Rosa was winning against Bayo? A lot of people think Rosa beats Bayo. But I don't think so. I think they go even. Lumen Sage said, I always thought she had a slight advantage against Rob. I never had too much trouble with him. Good Rob players are a different story. There's like a divide, and it's a pretty solid divide between good Rob players and bad Rob players. Kielma said, I never leave the floor against Robin, otherwise you die. That is true, which sucks though, because Bayo's so bad on the ground. So you're right, you probably shouldn't leave the ground very much. You said you usually play a different way. Oh, I see what you're saying. That's when you said you didn't leave the ground. Jeremy, you said, yeah, you think Rosa beats Bayo a little bit. It's possible, but it's also, like, I also have arguments to why Bayo might beat Rosa a little bit. So it's so hard to say. So I just put them in even. Like, they both have crazy things they can do to each other. All right. Ryu, I think, is a little worse than Ken. I know that some Ryu players out there are, like, really angry when people say that. They're like, people be sleeping on my boy Ryu, and, like, Ryu is not worse than Ken. If anything, he might be better. Well, I got something to say to you guys. Ryu is worse than Ken. So, I think Ryu comes out to a +1 for Bayo. He's just like Ken, but focuses more on solid one hits. He can do some camping with his Hadouken and Shoryuken, but minimally. And then his frame data is not all that great, and he's so straightforward and predictable, and his recovery is awful, and yada yada. Yeah, I think Bayo has a slight advantage over him. Sheik. Either +2 or +1 for Bayo. We can go with +1 just because Sheik's neutral is so good and Sheik is so fast. But, dude, you think Bayo struggles to kill? Sheik trying to kill Bayo is really bad for Sheik, because while Sheik has a lot of things that can confirm on some other characters, Bayo, has a frame 1 option that can get her out of stuff. So Bat Within kind of negates a lot of that. And then on top of that, Bayo is easier at killing with raw kills than Sheik is, in my opinion. She can't really do much against Bayo, from what I can tell. And then Bayo can do a lot against Sheik. Like, Sheik isn't hard to combo or anything. Maybe SDI can get you out, but you can still compensate for that. And then, like, Sheik is obviously going to lose off stage. You can see where Sheik's going to warp. You can punish that. The Deku Nut's really easy to witch time and punish. So many things. The only thing with Sheik is that you can't duck under her needles, which is weird. I guess they're low enough to where it still hits Bayo, which is kind of weird, but whatever. Kiyoma said Tatsumaki is a struggle for Bayo more than Ken's Shoryuken. SDI is much more valuable against Ken. Yeah, but it's also, I feel like it's harder for Ryu to catch you in something than it is for Ken. Like, Ken just seems like, I don't know, does he like move faster or something? I don't know. Like, I feel like I hardly ever get caught in Ryu stuff. Whereas Ken, I can get caught in them a lot easier. Warboy said, I remember when I was being told that Sheik is a boy, but I knew it was Zelda and I got annoyed. That's funny. I was too young to comprehend back when I first played Ocarina of Time, but I don't remember if I knew or not. I don't think I knew, actually, that Sheik was Zelda for a while, not until I got older. Kiyoma said, how are you going to hit Sheik in the first place? It's doable. Witch time. I just said all the things that you can witch time from Sheik. And also Sheik, while Sheik is fast, Sheik has a few moves that do make him pretty vulnerable. Make him, her, they, them pretty vulnerable. So, Uriel said, how can I sub? There should be a button, like, right below the video. If you're in a portrait mode on your phone, it should be there. I have this little widget here that shows if people sub to me on the stream, but I don't know if it actually works. So if you sub to me, let's see if it works. Kiyoma said Ken moves slightly faster. Yeah. Okay, so maybe that's why. Maybe that's why I find the difference in how much I get caught in them. All right. So, Shulk. This is an interesting one. I don't play Shulks very often. I get it. He has cheat codes. I get it. I totally get it. And up until the cheat codes, he's pretty predictable, but the cheat codes make him very unpredictable, which I think is a big weakness for Bayo. On top of that, he obviously has good kill options. Can have better frame data, yada yada. I've never particularly struggled against Shulk, but I think if two players are exactly the same skill level, the Shulk will win just because of character advantages. The character just has more than Bayo to work with. Jeremy said, I always thought Sheik was a boy. Spoiler alert! Sheik is a boy! Technically, maybe. I don't know. Let's just call them they, them. Alright. Snake. This is the fun one! I love talking about the Snake-Bayo matchup. I have a lot of experience with this one. This one is so fun. This is my favorite matchup in the game. So Snake, most people will say Snake has like overwhelming advantage on Bayo, and you know what? They'd be right. Snake has overwhelming advantage over Bayo. For sure, hands down. There's no denying that. There's no arguing that. But when it comes to Bayo versus the rest of the cast versus Snake, Bayo has so much more that she can do that the rest of the cast can't do against Snake. So that's when the interesting tidbits start to come in. And once you learn how to Z-grab Snake's grenades and use them against him, that's when you really shift the tables on a Snake player. Even the good ones. Doesn't matter how good the Snake is. Once you take those grenades away from them, they don't know what to do. And if you know true combos, then the Snake player can't even pull out a grenade in time anyway. So a big true combo, as we all know, is Witch Twist to jump fair. So that's going to be your friend here. But also there's some other ones that you can do in the heat of the moment that can work pretty well as well. Also, your normals don't blow up the grenades nearly as easily as your specials do. So if you're fighting a Snake, stop using ABK, stop using Witch Twist, use your normals. Unless you see that he is dropping the grenade down on the ground or something, use your normals. You want to start your combos with normals, and then once you've confirmed a hit, then you can use an ABK, because then he'll be in hit stun and won't be able to pull out a grenade. So be careful with that. I have a few other things that I can tell you for how to fight Snake. So whenever he flies up to the top, a lot of Snakes do that with their Cypher. They'll fly up to the top to escape anything. You as Bayo, use your jump cancels, fly up there and hit him. You can kill him with one hit just because he's so high. You can also punish him pretty hard off stage. If you want to hit the Cypher instead of him, say with the back air, you're guaranteed to kill him because he can't pull out another Cypher. Whereas if you hit him instead of the Cypher, he can probably tech onto the stage and use another Cypher, or just like survive it and use another Cypher, whatever. So hit the Cypher. Sometimes down smash at ledge. If you time it to where the Cypher extends your hitbox, you can hit him with it. But that one's really hard to do. And then he has a lot of ledge trapping options. So the biggest one I would say is his up smash at ledge, which is the mortar. And he'll just spam the mortar and it'll come like going up and down, making a big circle that you basically can't come up and grab the ledge, right? Any other character, they can't get past that. They're dead. Bayo, because you have jump cancels and all her mobility, you can literally fly around that and either land on center stage. You can even go to the opposite side of the stage on the ledge, another platform, something, and just throw them off on your landing, and you're good. Kiyoma said the matchup knowledge in the snake matchup is so crazy. Yeah, there's so many crazy stuff you have to learn for it, but it's so fun to do. And it's so crazy and looks so cool. Also, in the heat of battle, like, as long as you're Z-grabbing those grenades and using them for your own combos, you can capitalize off of that and get them in combos. I'm going to have more clips that I'll be posting soon of that, which will be really fun. Kiyoma said popping grenades with D-throw, up air to hit Snake on his head, not to hit his grenade. Yep. Using his up smash after witch time to combo with it. Yep. So if you witch time his mortar, it'll hit him if it lands on the ground. And he'll get hit by the explosion. You can kill him with that too. If he doesn't die, you can capitalize off of it. The fact that you can up smash out a shield even against a slightly stale up tilt. Yes. Well, from my experience, sometimes it clashes with the up tilt. It seems to be kind of random, honestly, so I don't really know about that one. But yeah, it is a really fun matchup because it's so insane. It is so crazy the things that you have to do to win it. I used to have Snake in -2. I think technically he is still -2, but if you know what you're doing and are able to use this stuff against him, he's a -1. Maybe even. Maybe. He still has every advantage over you, though. So you can never forget that. The slightest mistake and you're done for. But there's so many things that you can do. I feel like there's more that I'm not thinking of right now that you can do against him. But yeah, the biggest things to note, do normals, not your specials, unless you connect a normal and know for a fact you can connect a special without any dropped frames. Punish his up smash with either witch time or flying around it if he is trying to guard you. Also, Nikita is very important to know how Nikita works. Nikita, you can negate Nikita by hitting it with the hitbox, and that negates it for like a second, I think it is. So when you're recovering and you hit the Nikita, you can stop it from hitting you. You can hit it with an ABK or something, or you can just fly around it. You got to be careful, though, because if you let go of the Nikita, it turns into an item. So if you hit it thinking that you're going to stop the hitbox from being active, and he already turned it into an item, you're still going to explode. Also, the Nikita does more knockback and damage if it hits the ground or any surface around you, and you get hit by the explosion, not the Nikita itself. So be wary of that as well. Other than that, yeah, that's it. Just Z-grab the grenades, punish up smash, get around Nikita. You can fly around it. You can fly around his ledge guards. Be wary of all his super whatever kill options. You can bat within. If he plants C4 on you, you can bat within it. So just don't stress too much. You can also, once the C4 stops blinking red, you can just get up close to him and switch it back onto him by grabbing him or just touching his body with your body, no matter what you do. You can cross up with a dash attack on shield, something, and you'll just give him the thing back. And then he can't explode you, you know? He can't blow you up. Sonic is weird because he can camp Bayo out pretty well, but also it's like not a very good camping. Like he can only do like 1 or 2 hits when he does make it in. So I think they go even. They both kind of do a lot to get their kills, and it's going to be a boring match to watch because they both have to be very patient with each other because of the Sonic. But yeah, I think they go even for sure. But he is kind of difficult because he's short and his hitboxes can be kind of wonky. Toon Link! This is for you, Warboy. Here's Toon Link. I don't know how I feel about Toon Link, honestly. I think it's a slight winning for Toon Link. Wait, let me order this a little better. I think it's a slight winning for Toon Link. Maybe? His zoning is just so good against her. Or maybe I just struggle with it. I don't know. Maybe it's even. I don't know. What do you guys think? I really don't know what to think about Toon Link. He's small, so he's hard to hit. He can shield camp pretty well. He can space her out pretty well. Especially on certain stages. He's not that easy to combo. He can kill you pretty early. I don't know. I find him pretty wonky to fight. So I'm gonna put him in -1. I'm gonna put a Snake in -2 just because it looks bad having Snake and Toon Link in the same tier. That does look pretty bad. No, but I don't think it's that bad anymore. Ugh. Warboy said, as long as he ain't weak to her, I'm fine with the rating. Yeah, I don't think he's weak to her. Definitely not. Not compared to the other links. Villager. I think she wins the Villager matchup. Villager has some pretty slow moves. Some hard to hit with confirms or some hard to hit with kills. Jeremy, you think he's -1? Who do you think is -1? The Toon Link, like I did. Kiyoma said, I feel like it's even when you get used to his projectiles. The biggest issue is him catching your landings. Yeah, it is. That is the biggest issue. But it's also hard to fight him grounded. It's hard to get him off stage. I don't know. I personally struggle with it. I struggle against short zoners. So that's my issue there. Villager, I think we win because it's hard for him to land his killing blows. He's easy to combo. You can punish a lot of his options, like his side special, his tree. He has pretty bad frame data on a lot of his stuff when it comes to end lag, so you can punish like that too. So yeah, I think we win the Villager matchup at least a little bit. Definitely one of her better matchups. So Wario. Forgot he got nerfed recently. That up tilt nerf is pretty good, so that might change the game quite a bit. Because I have been caught in like up air trans from Wario's before, even as Bayo. I couldn't witch time out of it or bat within out of it. So I want to say Wario still a -1, probably. He still has down tilt to dash attack, which kills at like really low %. So maybe. And he still has Waft. Although Waft isn't as powerful anymore, isn't it? But he still has really good frame data and hitboxes. Unless they nerf those more. Maybe Wario's even. I think Wario might be even. Kioma says, Geist says Bayo beats Wario now. But IDK, I don't have an opinion. I don't know if I don't think she beats him. But I do think that she probably goes even with him now that I think about it. That up tilt nerf is pretty big. He does still have other things, but that up tilt nerf is big enough to, I think, make it even, not a winning matchup for her. Kiyoma said, I just hate that matchup. Yeah, I feel that. I don't really hate it that much, but it can be annoying if he gets away with stuff. But now he won't get away with as much because his up tilt's not as busted. You know? Wii Fit Trainer. We beat Wii Fit Trainer. Wii Fit Trainer's ball is her worst enemy against Bayo because Bayo and the ball, Bayo can ricochet the ball against Wii Fit Trainer with just bullet arts. So you know how Wii Fit Trainers love to do that thing where they go off stage and they try to shoot a ball from you level with the ground so they can hit it? You can just go to the edge, do a down tilt, bullet arts, and as soon as they go like this, it just goes right back and hits them in the face. It's the funniest thing. And if you use bullet arts aerials in combos, a lot of times Wii Fits try to get out of the combos with the ball. And if you do bullet arts, it just hits the ball right at them immediately. And honestly, can kill them earlier than your combo will because of that. So, Warboy said, dang, Wii Fit Trainer wasn't fit enough. No, not for Bayo. Bayo's more fit than Wii Fit. Sorry. Sorry, Wii Fit. You lose. You lose that one. But Wii Fits can be annoying to fight just because they're so campy. But like I said, as Bayo, you can take that camping away from them, at least mostly, because of the ball. They can still camp with their neutral special, though, so be wary. And their deep breathing is still an issue. But when they have deep breathing, they're easier to combo. And when they don't have deep breathing, they're easier to kill. So just keep that in mind whenever you're choosing what options to do against them in the fight. You can also treat deep breathing as like an Arsene if you really want to, and just fly away like I told you to do with Arsene. Wolf. Wolf is a hard one. Wolf has so much advantage on the ground and in the air when on stage, like when in the stage's vicinity, but off, no. And then Bayo has a few things to get past a lot of his stuff. Like you can heal slide under his laser gun, you can duck under his laser gun. But shield pressuring him is like nigh impossible. That's the scary thing. I think you typically do want to stay more grounded against him, which sounds bad, I know, because she's really bad on the ground. But that's your best chance of winning against him and then getting him off stage eventually. So I think he's a -1 for Bayo just because it is so hard to get him to that stage. But it's not the worst thing in the world, and honestly, is not like that hard to beat. Yoshi is wonky as hell. I really don't know. Yoshi has like super armor on a lot of his stuff that can get him out of a lot of Bayo's confirms. So I think Yoshi does technically have advantage. He doesn't have a bad recovery. He has good kill options. He's heavier. He can get out of her combos with just a single jump. He can break out of it and then kill you. Yeah, he has a few things to really get you. So I think he's a -1 for Bayo. Young Link is very similar to Bayo. I think they both have a lot of the same weaknesses and a lot of the same, like struggle to kill. Young Link obviously has way better frame data and he's small, so that can be trouble. But I don't know, maybe unlike Toon Link, something about Young Link seems easier to me. Maybe I just know Young Link better. Fuck it. I'm gonna put both of them in even. Because they're pretty similar. I do think Young Link is better than Toon Link, but in the Bayo matchup, I think they do about the same. Maybe Young Link does a little better, but that's it. Maybe. I don't know. I fought more Young Links than Toon Link, so maybe that's why my Toon Link thing was so wonky. Zero Suit Samus. I think she is everything Bayo wants to be in this game. So... But she also lacks a lot of Bayo's flair, like her mobility and her combo game. But then again, Zero Suit can kill with smaller combos than Bayo. She doesn't have to do all that special shit. And she doesn't need all that mobility either because her flash kick or whatever it's called, just makes her invincible. I think that's... But I think it's a -1 for Bayo. I think it's easier for the Zero Suit to secure kills against Bayo than it is for Bayo to secure against her. Especially since it's harder to combo Zero Suit. Lumen Sage 6 said, I think Wolf is even nowadays. Yeah. Did I put in -1? Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's really hard to say. Maybe when Offline comes back, I'll have a better remembrance of how that works. But Jeremy said, I hate fighting Young Link with Bayo, OMG. It can be kind of difficult with platforms. Then again, he's also a zoner, so it can be difficult in FD. I never find it too difficult though. Maybe it's because he dies so easily. Maybe that's why I don't find it so difficult. And he's predictable. Ray XC. Oh, how do I say this? Rakesy? Bayo versus Bayo is a wonder of the ages. They both suck. That is true. Bayo versus Bayo is so weird. That can be a funny ditto because of all the bat withins and all the flying Dragon Ball Z characters. Warboy said, I think they should have made all the Link shields different because Young Link's is wood and Normal Link's is metal. Worse defense. Oh, I see what you're saying. So you're saying Young Link should have had a worse defense because the shield was wooden. Yeah, but they didn't really keep that realism in, I guess. Kiyoma said, that's interesting. I think ZSS is such a fun even matchup. I find it fun too, don't get me wrong, but I do think Zero Suit has a little more that she can do against Bayo. Or at least like easier and faster that she can do against Bayo. Lumen Stage 6 said Bayo versus Bayo is amazing if you're drunk. Yeah, everything that's gonna happen, you're gonna be like, whoa, no way! Alright, hero. Honestly, it depends on the hero's RNG. Put that as a hard even, just because you never know what you're gonna get, you know? Rexy said, that makes me wonder how people don't make DBZ memes about Mithra Dittos and Foresight. Nah. No. So, Mithra would be like Naruto memes, because it'd be like substitution jutsu or some shit. Bayo versus Bayo would be Dragon Ball Z, because they literally fly, and they have like energy auras around them. Drunk Bayo Dittos. Yes. We should do some Drunk Bayo Dittos. I love those. Banjo-Kazooie. That's a hard one too. I think we go even. Yeah, I think we go even. I think we can get a round of stuff. Online, it's obviously way harder, but I think we can get a round of stuff and we can punish him pretty hard and get him into a really bad disadvantage state. Terry, we lose. I don't know where to put Snake. Like, we technically lose the Snake matchup, right? But we can still do amazing things. Terry, I think we lose. I don't know if it's -2, though. Kiyama said Tamim is crying right now. Why? Why is Tamim crying? Rexy said, wondering is hella faster than all Bayo moves. I don't... No, it's not. What? Terry, what? I thought Terry was a girl at first. Oh, yikes. We definitely lose to Terry. I just don't know if it's -1 or -2. Especially when he gets that go mechanic. Lumen Sage said Terry's honestly pretty insane in this game. Yeah, I agree. Terry is insane. Byleth! We win this one. I played this from both angles. It's definitely hard to beat Bayo as Byleth. It's definitely hard. It's doable, don't get me wrong. But Bayo can just, like, once she has advantage on you, you're kind of screwed. So, yeah, we definitely win against Byleth. Steve? I think we win against Steve as well. Steve has a lot of things that work against most characters, but not against Bayo. So, I think we win. We can witch time a lot of his stuff. We can fly around a lot of his stuff. His building thing doesn't really work against us. His minecart, whatever, jump over it. Punish. Yeah, like, I don't think he's too much trouble. You can really take advantage of him off stage. You can't get back a lot of the time. You can combo him easy. He dies early. Yeah, I don't think he is very hard. Sephiroth. We win. We win the Sephiroth matchup. Sephiroth, a lot of people think that we lose it just because he can fall out of combos. So he and Pythra have this thing where they just fall out of combos, right? Bayo's combos. For some reason, I don't know. Something about those two characters, they just don't stay in. But you can still capitalize off of it. It's just like when someone SDIs out. So it's not really that big of an issue. That, and he dies so early. He can't do anything off stage. Even on stage, he's not that great against her because his frame data is not that great. His aerial game's not that great compared to hers. His side special, you can witch time it and use it against him. His Mega Flare, Giga Flare, that's like no issue. You can witch time that. Yeah, there's really no issue against Sephiroth. Rexy said, honestly, Sephiroth is just Bayo with a sword. Maybe aesthetically, not gameplay-wise. That's funny. Kiyoma said, what is this madness? We got to go. You don't like my Sephiroth placement? Whew. And lastly, Pythra. I know you guys want me to call her Aegis. Honestly, I'm so angry about how good they made Pythra because they're just trying to sell us Xenoblade Chronicles 2. that I call them Pithra out of spite. So, Pithra. We're going to put Pithra -2 for Bayo. Pithra has every advantage in the book against Bayo. Got the frame data, got the better bat within mechanic, got the better kill power, can kill at 20%, maybe even earlier. You can switch with them on the fly while moving. You can get out of combos with that while moving, or you can just fall out of the combos completely because for some reason, just like Sephiroth, they fall out of the combos. And unlike Sephiroth, they can actually do stuff really fast, so you can't capitalize on it, especially if they're Mithra. They can chain dash attacks together, even against Bayo with the frame 1 option. Chain dash attacks together. Mithra can chain like 4 dash attacks together on the ground as long as you got enough space. Just like that fast. That fast. Like, thank you. Thank you, Smash devs. We did not need that, but thank you for giving us this broken ass character from this game you're really trying to sell to us. So yeah, I really don't like Pithra very much at all. So Pithra also is very good against Bayo. So yeah, Pithra is in a -2 for Bayo for sure. Snake is a -2 for Bayo online. Nah, fuck it. He's still bad offline. We're just trying to lie to ourselves at this point. We can do amazing things against Snake that other characters can't do, but he's still like, he'll eat us. He eats us. He eats us. Yeah, I don't think Mega Man's -2. We'll switch them. Kiyoma said, I'm happy we share this hate for them. I'm glad you share your hate for them too, because I've been like hard pressed to find anyone who doesn't just love them because they're just like so good. And they just love that. And they love Xenoblade Chronicles too, because all it is just like showing anime boobs. Like, thank you guys. Really? They even added the jiggle physics to Smash. There's jiggle physics in Smash for them, for their breastises. Like, that's bad. Rexy said they should have separated Mithra and Pyra. No? Yes! I would have at least preferred if they just separated them, right? But no, you can play as both, and it's ridiculous, and they can switch on the fly. Lumen Sage 6 said, you think Pithra will eventually be nerfed? I hope so, but I doubt it. You want to know why? You want to know why I don't think they're going to be nerfed? Because Nintendo really wants us to play Xenoblade Chronicles 2. That's why I don't think they're going to get nerfed. Rex said, even though they have no end lag whatsoever. I know, even Pyra has no end lag on her freaking neutral special. Her jab is frame 3. Like, it blows my mind that this character who's supposed to be like have the strongest smash attack in the game has good frame data. Her movement speed may be bad, but you can just switch to her at any moment from Mithra. So what was the point? Why is she that good? Give her worse frame data and maybe then we can talk. But her frame data is better than Bayo's. Her frame data is absolutely better than Bayo's. And it kills so early. And then if you have her switching from Mithra to Pyra, then there's no question about it. Warboy said, Pithra, I'm trying to see how to make this name into a female pit. Sure. Warboy, Kiyoma said, Mithra clicks with me. Oh, in quotes, Mithra clicks with me. No, girl, you're mashing without consequences. Yes! You're mashing without consequences. It's just like Joker. But this time you have even more somehow. It's just like mashing without consequences. Sion said, I was excited to play Mithra, but I stopped because of how easy Pyra can kill. Same! I actually thought they were really cool beforehand. I was going to call them Aegis, not Pithra. I was going to be respectful. But then they came out. And then they were fucking OP as, like, way too OP. And, like, I just wasn't feeling playing as that. You know what I mean? So, Pithra, I don't like them. But I stopped because of how easy they can kill, and their neutral B had no lag, so it made me dislike them and not play them anymore. Yeah, no lag. Even Pyra, no lag. Kiyoma said Pyra has gigantic hitboxes too. Yeah, I know. And like no lag. And better startup than Bayo on everything. Rexy said speaking facts. Yes, I know I'm speaking facts. I'm glad you guys agree with me. I was honestly scared that people wouldn't agree with me on this, but yeah. Bebo said... I'm going to say this out loud. Bebo said, hey Queef, how's your night going? Please tell me someone's name is not Queef and that's what you're calling me, because that would be really funny if you're calling me Queef. Infernal Flame said, yeah, the hitboxes are just ew. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, by the way, hey, Infernal. I didn't know you were here. How long you been here? Okay, but that's the chart. I don't know. This seems a little lopsided to me. Some of these have to be winning for her, right? Some of these gotta be. What would be winning for Bayo out of these even ones? Because I claim she's high tier, but this is not a high tier matchup chart. So, what to do about that? There's gotta be more winning matchups, right? Right? Does she win against Ike? Maybe she wins against Ike. Am I being too optimistic? Like, I don't know. No! Lumen Sage said, does Foresight make Mithra fall down when used in the air? No! Mithra can go up with Foresight. And just get safely onto the ledge or snap to the ledge. Or go safely back on stage or snap to the ledge. Whereas Bayo just falls to her death. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. And Mithra's already the better character, so why? Kiyoma said high tier where? I'm telling you she's gotta be high tier, but looking at this, maybe she is mid tier. I don't know. Maybe she beats Mewtwo. I think she does beat Mewtwo. Mewtwo's going up here. She beats Meta Knight. I think it's just Wi-Fi that's really been skewing my Meta Knight matchup. And who else does she beat here? She beats... Maybe she beats the Samus? Like, that bullet arts, or that bullet climax camping might beat the Samus. Just outright. Infernal Flame said the worst matchup for Bayo, in my opinion, is Pikachu and Young Link because they kind of shoot her down, or is it just me? I don't agree. I definitely don't agree with Young Link, but I also don't agree with Pikachu. Like, everyone's been mad at me for putting Pikachu in -1, but it's because I think people overplay Pikachu's advantages. I think it's just because they pick bad options and get punished by Pikachu's bullcrap because of that. But if you just pick better options and really hold your advantage against Pikachu and make sure that you flip the tables on him when he thinks he has advantage, but really Bayo doesn't have disadvantage, then you got it. I think it's perfectly fine. Pikachu's not hard to combo either. And even if they do SDI out, you can just compensate for that with like an up air or back air or something. Or another ABK. Wow, I missed a lot of messages. Bevo said Ridley, bro. That's +2. Did I put Ridley in even? Yeah, I'll put Ridley in winning for Bayo. Mewtwo tail, yeah. Kiyoma says I'm being delusional for thinking she's high tier. Whatever. Warboy said Meta Knight was OP in Smash 4 and now has been dethroned. No, he was OP in Brawl, not Smash 4. Kiyoma said Pikachu is pretty bad. I had to play a good Pika to understand what disadvantage state is. I've played good Pika players. I don't think it's that bad. Warboy said geez, I have bad memory. Yeah, good bad for Bayo. Right. I don't think we win any of these other ones though, do we? We might win against Link. But they both work so hard for their kills against each other, so I don't know. I've never struggled against a Link like that, so maybe we do win that. This looks about right. But this still makes her mid-tier. Because, like, we have, like, the same amount in the +2 and -2. The same amount in the +1 and -1. And the same amount, and then, like, 0 is, like, evened out, too. So I guess she is, like, a solid mid-tier now. Which is... I'll take it. I think she's a solid mid-tier now. That's fine. I'll take it. Maybe high mid. Because these are definitely all doable matchups. You know what I mean? This looks about right. Do you guys see anything that an even that should be winning? Kiyomi said Min Min and -2 choices. Yeah, no. Min Min is a -2 for Bayo. Or, I'm sorry. Min Min's a -2 against Bayo. Bayo beats Min Min pretty handily. Min Min can't do a lot of her stuff against Bayo. Bebo said Pika players mash. Just which time their projectiles and shitty options. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Pika players mash. And then when they don't even if they don't mash, like, you can still punish them pretty well. Lumen Sage 6 said the buffs that I really think Bayo needs is faster witch time startup, more near knockback, less end lag on witch time, up tilts air hitbox before the second having set knockback. That's a lot. I don't think up air needs to be touched anymore. I'd be happy with Nair killing more, but really for me it's just the witch time frame data. Better startup, better end lag, that's it. Please, just shave those off. Speed the matchup for everybody. We'd all be happy. Jeremy said looks fine to me. Warboy said it's pretty accurate. Never mind, I was looking at something else. Rakesy said it's funny how Sephiroth came out and people said long sword and just forgot about Min Min. I know, Min Min still has the most range. Sion said, I think she's high mid character. Thank God she isn't in bottom tier anymore. Right? Legit. I mean, personally, a lot of people might disagree with me on this too, but before 8.0, I thought she was bottom 5. And then after 8.0, like, those buffs were so substantial to me that it took her straight from like bottom 5 to me to either high tier or high mid tier. And like, I still, like, in my mind, I still view her as high tier, but like, looking at this chart, this definitely puts her in mid tier territory, which is weird. Oh, whatever. I'll take it. It all looks pretty good. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything here. I think we might beat Dark Pit too, actually. And then regular pit's like a +2 for us. And then... I would say we beat Lucina, but that might be too controversial. Maybe the Samus, though. I'm trying to think. Samus is tricky, but it's hard for Samus to do a lot of stuff against Bayo's stuff. But then again, Samus's grab is really good for punishing Bayo. That's the good thing about this game. It's balanced pretty well to where it's hard to make these decisions, right? You know? Okay, yeah. I think this is it. So let's just recap. For Bayo, our +2s are King K Rool, Min Min, Donkey Kong, Jigglypuff, Little Mac, and regular Pit. I think we have most of the advantage over those characters. For our +1s is Bayo. Got Bowser Jr., Diddy Kong, Mii Brawler, Dr. Mario, Ganondorf, Incineroar, King Dedede, Ness, Simon and Richter, Ryu, Sheik, Villager, Wii Fit Trainer, Byleth, Steve, Sephiroth, Mewtwo, Meta Knight, Ridley, Link, and Dark Pit. And then for our even matchups, we have Zelda, Palutena, Bowser, Captain Falcon, Corrin, the Samuses. That's underplaying Metroid Prime too much. Metroid Prime and Samus. Mii Sword Fighter, Falco, Ike, Isabelle, Young Link, Ken, Kirby, Lucina, Luigi, Mario, Marth, Pikmin and Olimar. I think we win that one actually. So Pikmin Olimar is in the winning now. Winning for us. Pichu, Piranha Plant, Rosalina and Luma. Actually, we might beat Piranha Plant. Just nah. That Patui is too good. Sonic, Wario, Toon Link, Hero, and Banjo and Kazooie. Kill me. You think Duck Hunt and Gunner are even? I can't figure out Duck Hunt, how to fight Duck Hunt as her, so. Sion said, I think she's a high mid character. Thank God she isn't in the bottom tier anymore. Oh, I already read that. One day, Momo said, one day I'll get my Ganon buffs. Let's hope. I would love that. I like Ganon. I would love him to be buffed. Sion said, would be pretty cool if they made her landing lag when doing specials be 42 to 43 frames of landing lag, like how it was before instead of 50 frames. Yeah, I mean, anything would help. When which time end lag is 1 whole second. It's over a second. 66 frames. When Ganon gets buffed, I will play as him for the first time. Warboy, you never played as Ganon? Jonathan Koiro said, I think ZSS might be more even because it's really easy to edgeguard her when she doesn't have a flip kick. Maybe Zero Suit is even. I think you're right about that. The more I think about it, I do think so. I think Inkling might also be even now too. And maybe we go even with Greninja. Maybe we also go even with Rob. Also go even with not Yoshi. Not Yoshi. Yeah, this makes more sense to me. Yeah, we'll see when I get down there again. Luma said, I think Rosa and Luma lose to Bayo TBH, but it's close. There's arguments for it. There's also arguments for the opposite, though. I think I'm just going to go with the even to be safe. Lumen Sage 6 said, Bayo's definitely better than she was before. Decent mid-tier who just needs a few more fixes. Yeah, if they just fix Witch Time, and maybe some other things like Bat Within and F Smashes, but that's it. Luma, he just got here. Infernal Flame said, yeah, the end lag is so long unless you do it in the air and touch the ground when you get 0 frames, but IDK the timing. Yeah. It's better to just do Bullet Climax at that point. Because that way you don't have to stale your Witch Time. Because your Witch Time does stale even if you miss with it. Even if you don't land the Witch Time, it stales it. Rexy said F-Tilt was never good for Bayo, but it is now. It is good for Bayo now. I use F-Tilt a lot now, actually. I mean, I used it before too, but now it's like way more useful. Kimo said, I think Terry's even, but we're not ready for that. No. I know how to SDI him. I promise you, it's still not even. Sion said, I would love if Bayo got less total frames for up and down tilt for better combo potentials. I think they're fine the way they are. I don't mind it. Anyways. Alright, so even, we have Zelda, Palutena, Bowser. Oh, I already went through all of them. Alright, and then also added Zero Suit, Greninja, Inkling, and Rob. Makes sense to me. -1, we have Pikachu, Joker, Chrom. Actually, I'm gonna go even with Chrom. Cloud, Paisy, me Gunner. Actually, I think we go even. I think we go even with Paisy because I have a bad disadvantage state against Bayo. Now that I think about it. Duck Hunt. I personally don't know how to fight Duck Hunt, but I'm sure it might be different. I don't know. Fox. Ice Climbers. Lucas. Game & Watch. Infernal Flame said, I don't understand how she's a bait and punish character and has no throw combos. Well, it's all about throwing them off for one. But there is actually a throw combo. You can do up throw to instant double jump fair. And that's a true combo. It's just complicated input. But if you can do it, it's a true combo. Game & Watch is a -1. Yeah, fine. Pac-Man, -1. Yeah, fair. Robin, definitely -1. Roy, definitely -1. Shulk, -1. Yoshi, -1. Yeah. Wolf, still debatable, but I'll keep him in -1. Terry, -1. And Mega Man, -1. -2 is Lucario. Pythra. Gotta say it again for the crowd. Pythra. Pokemon Trainer. And Snock. I don't know anymore. I really don't know. I've been shifting these guys so much. Raises Pythra. It's fun to say though, you gotta admit. Just do it. Do it with me. Do the mouth pop. Okay. Alright, I like this. I took Snake out of -2 again. I don't think he's -2 anymore. I think ever since her up tilt buffs especially, she can capitalize against Snake so much better now that he can't pull a grenade a lot of the time. And if he does, you can work around it a lot faster and easier now because of that. And also her F smash kills so much better now. Before you couldn't kill him with the F smash, now you can. Pokemon Trainer is still really bad because Charizard's a nightmare, but you can still at least combo. And if you kill Charizard, they have to be forced to do Squirtle and Ivysaur. Meaning that you have 2 even matchups right there that you can just go ahead and take advantage of, you know? But Lucario, gotta wet the lips. Pythra. Now they, I think, are -2. Because you can't really combo Pythra. And then she's just like everything Bayo should be, but better. And then kills so fast with no lag. And then Lucario just takes advantage of Bayo's biggest weakness, you know? So now let me try to order them. I'll order these. So from like best to worst is how it's going to go. Like top left to top or bottom right. So out of these guys, I think out of them, her best matchup is probably King K. Lil Mac. Donkey Kong, King K Rool, Jigs. Yeah. And then over here, let's see. Warboy said my headphones need to be removed from my head. That was at full volume. Sorry, did I get you with the mouth pop for Pythra? Lumen Sage 6 said, is it really true that Pyra has minimal N lag? If it is, I'm gonna lose it, lol. Yeah. There's 0 N lag on her neutral special. And then her other moves also don't have very much N lag at all. And she also has a frame 3 jab that can kill. Rexy said, I think down tilt is her fastest tilt, but its situations are confusing. Yeah, it is. It's frame 7, I think, or frame 6. No, frame 7. That's her fastest move on the ground at all, actually. Rexy said, neutral B, no N lag is annoying as fuck. Yeah. Anyways, back to... Lumen Sage 6 said, the fact that Pythra have jiggle physics for their boobies kind of shows that they're popular mostly for their sex appeal. Controversial opinion, I'm not sure. I'm not quite alone on that. No, you're right. That's why they're popular. No one cares about... No one plays for the gameplay in Xenoblade. Are you kidding me? I played Xenoblade X. That gameplay is awful. I'm sorry. Hate to say it. The open world is really pretty and nice, and like the graphics are great. And it's very well done, but the gameplay, I'm not here for it. Scion said, Pithra is lucky we're not Smash 4 Bayo anymore. Yeah, they are now Smash 4 Bayo. Thank you, Pithra. Kiyama said, I'm so bad against Little Mac, it's embarrassing. I am kind of too, but only on Wi-Fi and only when there's no platforms. Infernal Flame said, I'm bad against Donkey Kong. I freak out when he gets close. No. I totally understand. Like, characters like Donkey Kong, K Rool, and DDD, like, when they're close to you, it's so scary. Because they can kill you in just a few hits. But I don't think that makes them bad matchups per se. I used to, back when Bayo didn't function, because she would mess up all the time and I would get killed because of that. She just didn't work. But now that she works, it's like, or at least mostly works, you can mostly avoid those. Infernal Flame said, I'm so bad at avoiding projectiles. Well, maybe if you're playing on Wi-Fi, that might be it. Kiyoma said, both her up tilt and down tilt are frame 7 since 8.0. Is it frame 7 now? Oh, that's right. It went from frame 9 to frame 7. Happy about that. Big ass hitbox too. I love it. Her ABK is also frame 7, I believe. It might be, but you also have to take into account the 3-frame jump you have to do. 3-frame jump squat. Okay, so let's order everyone in +1. So from best matchup to worst, let's see. Her best one out of all of these is probably, let's get Ridley up over here, we fit up over here, Villager over here, Mewtwo over here, Rio over here, Ganondorf is definitely over here, Sheik over here, Doc, Violet, Infernal Flame says, so we would consider it 10 frames minimum. Yeah. From a grounded, as a grounded option, yeah. But when it's in the air, obviously it's not a 10 frame option. Cyan said, would be cool if they made up B hit behind her again. Yeah, I mean, if they made the Witch Twist hitbox bigger, you wouldn't have people falling out as much, but whatever. We don't need it though. I think it's fine the way it is right now. So we're gonna put him further back and put him further up. Simon and Richter can come back here. So honestly, I think Simon and Richter are pretty good with their projectiles. Same with Link. But Link is like borderline for sure. He's borderline. So is Steve. Diddy Kong looks good there. Midnight might be a little easier than them. And I think Diddy Kong's harder than them. Okay, so now for even. I mean, I guess you don't really have to order even, do you? We can do it. Peach and Daisy can stay down here. So can he. Let's get these two down here because they are a little bit on the harder side for this matchup, or for these matchups. Same with him. Same with Kirby. Mario's a little easier. Falco's easier than him though. X easier than him. Put P-Plant. Hero's still random. I'm just gonna leave him in the middle. Just ignore him. Bayonetta is gonna be down there. Inkling's gonna be down here. Wait, I put too many people on on the wrong side of Paisy. Like way too far. Okay. Wario's gonna be harder for sure. Nah, Greninja's harder. Okay, that looks about right. And then what about up here? Lumen Sage 6 said, do you truly think her Witch Twist lower SDI multiplier was truly substantial? I see some say that characters still fall out of it a bit, but not all of them. Well, I think it was. Yes. I think it was also way better than the one that we got in 3.1. Because playing against my Bayo friends, used to be able to SDI and pop out on the opposite side of Bayo. And now it's very rare that I'm able to do that, and I can only really do that with certain characters. So, yes, I think it was pretty substantial. If they do pop out, though, even still, you can still capitalize on it. So even if they do, it's not a big deal, in my opinion. Sion said, I think opponents fall out more often because the top hitbox of Witch Twist gets smaller as it goes, unlike before that it stayed the same size. Yeah, they shrunk all the hitboxes for Witch Twist from Smash 4, which is why you don't really get people staying in as easy. Yeah. Toonlink's probably a little easier than... Nah. I struggle against Toonlink, but he's probably technically easier than him. Rosalie and Luma is really difficult, so I'm going to put them over here. That looks about right. Yeah, that looks about right. Zelda's easier than Zero Suit, maybe? No, I think Zero Suit's easier than Zelda. Alright, down here. Let's see who's easier out of her bad matchups. Probably, let's put Game & Watch. Oh, Lucas, probably the easiest out of these. Yoshi's decently easy in comparison compared to them. Same with Wolf. Roy, because he's straightforward. Actually, Roy's a little easier than Wolf in my opinion, because he's taller. Shulk, I don't think he's that bad, so we'll put him after him. Let's see. Me Gunner isn't that bad either. I'm gonna put Me Gunner like right around there. Cloud isn't that bad. Probably put Cloud before Shulk. We'll put Pikachu down here just so people aren't too mad, you know. Fox isn't that bad either. Put him before Shulk. Put him before Cloud, actually. Actually, no, I'll put him after Cloud. And then everything else looks fine. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Duck Hunt's the hardest one out of all these. But no one's gonna agree with me on that. Okay. I find Pikachu easier than these guys, personally. Find him easier than them. Find him easier than them. Oh, I find him easier than Shulk. So, find him easier than Fox. And I find him easier than... God, I find him easier than all these guys. Let's put him around... You guys are gonna hate me. Oh my goodness. I don't find Pikachu that hard. I would honestly put Pikachu in even if no one if no one hated me for it. I do find him easier than Roy. Okay, that looks fine. And then these two, I would say, yeah, that looks about right. Okay. Yeah, that's ordered. That's it. That's it. It's finished. We did it. Thanks, guys, for joining me. Let me read the rest of the comments, and then I'll say my goodbyes. Let's see. Infernal Flame said, when I play against Kirby and do a Witch Twist, he normally gets launched really far above me. Is that normal? That means they're SDIing straight up. And if they do that, you can catch them up there with like an up air or something, as long as they don't rock bottom you beforehand. It is normal, though. That happens, especially if you don't... There is a sweet spot for landing Witch Twists. If you miss the sweet spot, then they can fall out because of that. So you really want to hit Witch Twist right. A lot of people think that Witch Twist just doesn't work because they hit the... they hit it wrong. But really, they just hit it wrong. So Witch Twist does work relatively well now. Kiyoma said mental institution, bye. Because I put Pikachu all the way up here. This does look like a high tier chart now, though. This is much better. This is much more aligns with how I view her as a high or high mid tier. This looks much better. So yeah, seems about right. I guess we'll save it. Let's see if I can save it. Can I save it? Is it gonna let me save it? It let me save it. We're gonna upload it to Twitter. Alright, well, before that though, I'm gonna say my goodbyes. Bam. Okay, so it was real fun doing this with you guys. I'm glad I got to do it. This was fun. This is my third stream. Before I was just streaming Smash gameplay, which of course I'll probably try and do again soon. But this was great, and I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation and talking about what your thoughts are on all these characters and their matchup with Bayo. Other than that, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I guess my little widget thingy, let me see, watch, this widget doesn't work. Yeah, it doesn't work, because someone definitely told me they subscribed during the stream, and it didn't show up on the widget. So I don't know how to get the widget to work, but I'll try and figure it out before next time. Either way, catch me on my next streams. I'll be streaming more often now that I actually can stream. And then I'm still working on some videos, obviously montages and TSSB episode 4, which I can hopefully get that done as soon as possible. But it's hard. It's a lot of work. It's very tedious, and I have work and other things in life too, with social life, all that. So I'm gonna try to keep up with that. But yeah, Infernal Flame said bye. Sion said, I saw a video that if you notice that they SDI up, you can follow up with up air and kill. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can just follow up and with up air or something else too. Lumen Sage 6 said, last question. Does the Bayo counterplay really just consist of holding shield like all of Twitter says? Not fully, because she can still grab just like any other character. But yes, you do want to master shield camping and punishing to beat Bayo, for sure. And also SDI. Simon said, thanks to the 8.0 buffs. Yeah, thanks be to those. Jeremy said it was fun. Thanks, Jeremy. I'm glad you had fun. I had fun. I know I had fun. I'm glad you had fun. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and sign off for now. Let's see if I can figure out how to do that without looking like an idiot and like staying on stream for a while, like doing something random and thinking I logged off. Let's see. I can hit end stream right here. Watch that. All right. Deuces, guys. Peace.